Among the ways that greatness distinguishes itself is through the story of action. The promise to be the best, and the willingness to do what it takes to throw oneself into the fire and dance with the flame.
Oh!
To handle pressure.
Oh, he's rock bad. Oh, down goes Medeiros.
And create diamonds.
That'll do it. Dustin Poirier rises again.
To take every historic opportunity with a simple answer, bring it on.
I'm not fighting for belts, I'm fighting for legacy. They saying the best guy in the world right now is Khabib, and this is just a step towards him.
Tonight, from Atlanta, Georgia, 2 titles are on the line, along with a shared idea among those who dare to be great, that it's time to step up or step aside. First, it's a middleweight showdown as a tried and true warrior arrives at the pinnacle of his journey.
I want to see this fight end in dominant fashion. I want to be able to make it clear that I'm supposed to be winning this world title.
A conqueror of champions.
Oh! Nice 1-2 from Gastelum. Bisping is out.
With deceptive quickness.
Man, look at his speed. That's it.
And exceptional strength. Ready to meet head-on the new force sweeping the scene. A deft combination of style and speed.
Oh, we tagged him again. Another knockdown. Israel Adesanya.
Powered by will, forged on attitude.
I'm already better than the version of me that fought Silva. Because I've evolved so much. I can't say the same for him.
A Nigerian-born phenom who's ready to rise up and greet his own era. Then, it's time to decide who's fit for the lightweight crown.
He's definitely facing his toughest fight in a long time. I know for a fact I have what it takes to beat him for a second time, and I will.
As the original chill in the air, who has sliced, slashed, and humbled the deadliest names in the division.
Oh! Dustin Poirier by knockout!
Reacquaints himself with the man on the verge of history. The featherweight champion. A Rembrandt of MMA, looking to add another title to bring back home to Hawaii.
That'll do it! Max Holloway!
And solidify himself among the best martial artists of all time, while defining what it means to be great. From Atlanta, Georgia, it's UFC 236. Holloway vs Poirier 2, and it starts right now.
Dateline, Atlanta, Georgia. For the 4th time in UFC history, the Octagon is settled here in the ATL. Last time we were here, Tyron Woodley became a first-time champion, and tonight, 3 others get their first attempt to secure a piece of UFC gold. Live from State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia, USA, this is UFC 236, Holloway vs Poirier 2. And we also remind you off the top, closed captioning is available for the entirety of tonight's telecast. And with that, the pleasure is all on this side of the table. Thank you for being with us for UFC 236. I'm John Abt. Max Holloway has put together one of the greatest singular runs the Octagon has ever seen. 13 consecutive wins, some of which have come against future UFC Hall of Famers. But the UFC featherweight champion wants to be labeled as the single best pound-for-pound fighter in the sport of mixed martial arts. So to that end, he moves up in weight tonight, and he will take on a most worthy Dustin Poirier for the UFC interim lightweight championship. My broadcast partners, legends both, Joe Rogan, UFC heavyweight champion Daniel Cormier. Big time feel in Atlanta tonight. We got 2 belts, 2 new ones going out later tonight.
2 fantastic fights, too. I'm so excited about these fights because both these fights to me are who knows. Yeah. I love a who knows contest, and both of them fall into that category. But people ask me, who's going to win, Poirier or Holloway? Who knows? Right. Style Bender or Kelvin? Who knows?
I mean, it is fantastic to be in Atlanta. It's great when you can feel the environment, feels like electric. My skin's crawling. Joe and I have been here for hours waiting to get to this point, and we're finally on pay-per-view about to crown 2 new champions. I cannot wait.
All right, let's dive into this main event. Of course, Max Holloway comes in with a belt over one shoulder, trying to get one over the other. And how about the pop for him a moment ago when his picture was shown up on the big screen? He's becoming a superstar.
I think coming off of that Brian Ortega fight, people realize how special this man truly is. I think he's the greatest featherweight of all time, and I think he might be one of the best pound-for-pound fighters ever. He has phenomenal timing and pace. He has a championship mentality, and he has no weaknesses. He can submit you, he can finish you. He's got great takedown defense, and he has beaten some legends, including Jose Aldo twice.
They say diamonds are forever, and that goes for Dustin Poirier. He finally gets an opportunity to compete for a UFC championship. This young man is just a fighter. He's from Lafayette, Louisiana, so a part of me likes the guy. But he's fighting Max Holloway, who's extremely tough, but he has a win over Max Holloway, which does stand for something. The heart that he has shown in so many fights has been truly phenomenal. You cannot get a loser in this match. It's so good.
So the first meeting between these fighters was back in 2012. This was their first stare down for this second meeting, which took place back on March 1st. And this was the stare down yesterday at the weigh-in. The Fighter Odds brought to you by Poker Stars. Pound for pound, the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on Poker Stars. They will soon lock the octagon door behind Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier. Before they do that, we will have the UFC interim middleweight championship fight. The last style bender, Israel Adesanya, DC, taking on the bull that is Kelvin Gastelum. And Gastelum's mission here tonight is to stop this hype train in its tracks.
I mean, he's been in this position before. When Uriah Hall, when he was spinning and knocking everybody out, Kelvin stomped and pushed him against the fence and beat him, and feels like, honestly, he has seen the better competition. He's been in there with the better fighters. The way he knocked out Michael Bisping, dropped Jacare Souza, dropped and beat Tim Kennedy. He just believes that his level of competition is way too high. He's a better fighter than Israel Adesanya. He said tonight he stopped the hype train.
Well, that hype train is going real fast, and it's super complicated. When you look at the average striker in the UFC, you might think of them as maybe a high school graduate, or perhaps maybe even they have a bachelor's degree. This is a PhD in kicking your ass. This guy knows how to drop bombs on your face, and he can put together combinations and set you up in ways that you're just not going to see coming. He is as sophisticated a striker as we've ever seen inside the octagon.
And remarkably for Israel Adesanya, 15 months after he made his UFC debut, he's a betting favorite tonight to leave Atlanta with a UFC championship. Absolutely remarkable. We'll see how it goes between these two later tonight. And for those who question Adesanya getting this opportunity this early on, he'll be the first to tell you just haven't been paying attention.
Oh, he's fantastic. I mean, he was fantastic before he ever entered into the octagon, but he took his time. He learned takedown defense properly, and when he got here, he's shown in the Derek Brunson fight and the Anderson Silva fight, he deserves to be here for sure.
All right, well, the buzz, as you can see, is palpable. We are ready to go on pay-per-view. We are stacked. Here's a look at the other fights coming your way tonight. The rest of the card is brought to you by Motel 6. When you need a rest, check into Motel 6. We'll leave the light on for you. And it could be a big night across the board for Lafayette, Louisiana. Just like Dustin Poirier, that's where Alan Jouban was born. Tonight, the all-action Jouban gets the pay-per-view showcase and will try to produce a 5th UFC knockout against the man they call the Body Snatcher, the Javier Mendez-trained Dwight Grant. He is also a credentialed finisher and knockout artist, and in terms of profile and opponent, this would certainly qualify as the biggest fight of his career. Also a big one tonight for the former Alabama linebacker, Eric "Ya Boy" Anders. He accrued some valuable UFC experience with 4 fights in 2018, and he'll look to leave Atlanta with some momentum by turning back the challenge of that man, Khalil Roundtree Jr. He packed his bags and went to Thailand after his last fight and expects to be stronger in the clinch, among other places, as he makes his 8th UFC appearance here tonight. All right, let's get to the rules of the octagon. 3 judges score the fight. The bout duration is 3 5-minute rounds, but for championship fights and all UFC main events, we go 5 5-minute rounds. A 10-point must-scoring system is in effect. The round winner gets 10 points, his or her opponent 9 or fewer. And scoring is based on effective striking and grappling, followed then by aggression, and finally octagon control in that order. Also of note tonight, the Georgia State Athletic Commission does use the new unified rules that have been laid out for mixed martial arts. We will also have the limited use of instant replay. That is only to look at the end of a fight. Once replay is used, that particular fight cannot be restarted. Tonight's Crowd Shots brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. All right, so as we get ready for this pay-per-view opener, DC, we look at the bottom two-thirds of this light heavyweight division that you used to own. Ovince St. Preux, number 12 in the world, coming in and looking to make it 2 wins in the series with Nikita Krylov.
Yeah, it's a very important fight for those guys. For Ovince St. Preux to get going back in the right direction. He earned a title shot a long time ago against Jones. And for Nikita Krylov to try and tie the score. This is a division that if you get on a short roll, as we saw with Volkan Ozdemir, as we're seeing with Thiago Santos right now, you can earn a title shot very quickly.
All right, with that backdrop, ready to go with the main card from Atlanta, Georgia. Appreciate you being with us tonight for a big one on pay-per-view. Well, 5 years is an eternity in mixed martial arts, so while Ovince St. Preux and Nikita Krylov have some history, both know this rematch and their opponent figures to be an entirely different monster here tonight. In 2014, when they first met at the Octagon, Ovince St. Preux and Nikita Krylov were hungry prospects trying to make a mark in the UFC. 5 years later, they square off for a second time, and while the circumstances have changed, the hunger to succeed is as strong as ever.
The thing about it is, he lost his last fight against me, and I know that I'm going to fight a, better version of him. Someone who are at least 10 times better than what I fought the first time. So I'm going to give him the better version of myself too.
Я в ожидании реванша и в ожидании получения сатисфакции, иначе бы я не согласился на этот бой.
Ovince St. Preux's striking game was his calling card when he faced Nikita Krylov the first time around. But that night in Dallas, he showed off the move that has become his trademark as he submitted Krylov with a Von Flue choke, and in so doing, established himself as a threat wherever the fight could take him.
I think anybody can be broken. It's just a matter of fact is, how I'm going to do it. And that leads up to whatever you give me. So either way, if you want to get broken standing up, I can do it. If you want to get broken on the ground, I can do it.
Just 22 years old when he faced St. Preux the first time, Krylov's fight game has matured in the ensuing years. He's won 9 of his last 11 bouts, with all 9 of those wins over the likes of Marcos Rogerio de Lima, Ed Herman, and Fabio Maldonado coming before the final horn.
Этот бой будет отличаться тем, что сейчас я ближе к тому возрасту, в котором он победил меня. На тот момент я был еще юным бойцом. Сейчас же я считаю, что я состоялся.
Making the walk for his 11th UFC appearance is Nikita Krylov, 25-6, the professional record in DC. This guy fights like he is double parked outside.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be in there very long. He has the fastest head kick knockout in UFC history when he knocked out Ward Harris in 25 seconds from a head kick. And like you said, John, hey, it's kill or be killed. In 31 fights, this dude's never gone the distance, and he's only been to the 3rd round 1 time. So he's in there to try to get it done and get it done quickly. He came back to the UFC, got a takedown early, lost his last fight, but he's looking to get revenge against Ovince St. Preux tonight.
Yeah, he has a very well-rounded style. He's got a background in Kyokushin karate. He has a very good Muay Thai base as well. Like if you see his style, it's kind of a combination of those traditional martial arts movements along with Muay Thai, good takedown defense, and I guarantee you he's not going to want to go to the ground with Ovince St. Preux after getting Von Flue choked like that.
Right.
That, I think this fight, in his advantage, the best place for it to take place would be standing up.
A lot of volume from Krylov. DC mentioned the head kicks. That's a huge weapon in his arsenal. And this is part of his 2nd UFC stint. So he left the UFC after a fight with Misha Serkunov in December of 2016. Won 4 in a row in Russia and his native Ukraine. Returned less than 2 years later. Fought Jan Blachowicz last September. And tonight he has earned this rematch with Ovince St. Preux. They fought back at UFC 171. And Nikita Krylov trying to move to 10-3 overall as a light heavyweight in mixed martial arts and make it 5 wins in his last 6. He is a slight betting favorite to do just that here tonight. So here is the former Tennessee Volunteer football player, Ovince St. Preux, number 12 in the world at present. Made his UFC debut back in 2013. No 205er has been more active since. And Joe, you were there, of course, for his 3rd UFC fight when he submitted this opponent, Nikita Krylov, with that patented Von Flue choke.
Yeah, we might need to name that choke the OSP. I mean, it really is. He's the guy who's got it 3 times inside the octagon, more than anybody ever. And it's one of those things where he gets to that position where guys try to grab a hold of his neck and he puts him to sleep with that choke. It's a very deceptive choke. And you see him there getting that on Krylov. He's got weight power, fantastic power, particularly on his left side. His left kick and his left hook are outstanding. And he's fought legends. He's fought Shogun. He fought John Jones. He submitted Tyson Pedro. He's knocked out really tough fighters. Yeah. He's knocked out Shogun. He's a real contender, and he's a dangerous man.
Yeah, he's very dangerous. As you said, John, activity has been his calling card. But he said he's kind of wanting to slow it down a little bit as he's getting older. He said, no, 2 fights a year may be exactly what he needs, because before 4 was a little bit too much. He feels that by slowing down, he may progress forward because he'll allow his body to recover, allow his mind to reset. Before, if you're fighting 4 times a year, you're constantly in training camp. He believes that this break after his last fight, 6 months, which is unheard of for him, will only benefit him.
And we talk a lot about the schedule, the strength of schedule, but how about the fact that he's tied for 2nd all-time in terms of finishes in what has long been the UFC's glamour division. 9 of his 11 wins have come by finish. He acknowledged that Krylov can crack. The game plan for St. Preux to put Krylov on his back tonight. But he also said, I gotta touch him to make that happen. We'll see how it goes early on tonight in this much-anticipated rematch between Ovince St. Preux and Nikita Krylov. All right, tonight's Tale of the Tape is brought to you by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Ovince St. Preux, 36 years old. Nikita Krylov is 27. OSP slightly taller by ½ an inch. Both fighters successfully making weight. St. Preux will have a 2.5-inch reach advantage. All right, now for the particulars, we go inside to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia, for UFC 236, Holloway Vs Poirier 2. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC light heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out in the blue corner, a Kyokushin karate fighter, holding a professional record, 25 wins, 6 losses. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 205 pounds. Fighting out of Donetsk, Ukraine, Nikita the Miner Krylov. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 23 wins, 12 losses. He stands 6 feet 3 and 1/2 inches tall, weighing in at 206 pounds. Fighting out of Knoxville, Tennessee, Ovince St. Preux. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Blake Grice.
Blake Grice, our referee for this pay-per-view opener. Brittany Palmer draws the round 1 card assignment. Thank you, Brittany. Brooklyn, Vanessa, all on hand here tonight. These fighter odds brought to you by Poker Stars. Pound for pound, the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on Poker Stars. Ovince St. Preux, slight dog, plus 115. Nikita Krylov, the favorite, at minus 135. Tonight's fight clock is brought to you by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
Watch the fingers in his eyes, please. Thank you.
Ovince expected a big blitz from Krylov, but if he didn't get the finish he's looking for, he figured he'd be able to walk him down.
Krylov's striking looks very sharp right off the bat. He landed a good right hand on Ovens, and Ovens gets the takedown. Very nice.
That was real good timing by St. Preux. Krylov doing a good job of trying to get back to his feet.
Krylov went to grab the neck again the same way. Look, he's doing it again. You got to be very careful to hold that position if it gets the side control.
St. Preux taking advice from Eric Turner there, right below him.
Krylov looking for a guillotine here.
He's got to be careful because Ovens is trying to hook his foot, circle him back to his back.
Ovens has his hands connected. Let him go.
Nemiroff, bold character since 1872. 14 career wins by submission for Nikita Krylov. Staying committed to this choke here.
Well, he's got to feed his hips to Ovens if he's going to finish this. This is a better position for him. Yep.
This is good.
He's got to push his hips
against the cage.
Yep, got to push his hips into Ovens.
Krylov's last fight against Jan Blachowicz, just the 6th time he had ever seen a second round in 31 pro fights. Another takedown for St. Preux.
Oh, Krylov's doing a good job of shoving his head down towards his legs to get back to his feet, though. Ovens is doing a good job of getting takedowns. But Krylov is really, really stuffing the head right away.
Their first fight lasted just 89 seconds.
Interesting. Krylov trying to take Ovens down now.
Oh, nice whizzer kick.
Turns out to be a bad idea.
Yep, good whizzer kick by Ovens St. Preux. Whizzer is the overhook on the underhook side. Kick the hips inside and you roll them to the hip. Nice job by St. Preux.
Good angles on those elbows from the Ukrainian Nikita Krylov. And unofficially, DC, somewhat surprisingly, 3 takedowns landed for Ovens St. Preux, already a personal best in the UFC.
You could tell that he wanted to wrestle.
Full mount here. Big elbow by Ovens St. Preux.
St. Preux with a lot of support in the building here tonight. Under 90 seconds now to go in the round.
Krylov escapes. St. Preux decided to not try to take his back. Oh, good knees there by Krylov. Oh, good right hand by Krylov.
Krylov's bringing it.
He knows no other way.
But again, John, look at how heavy Ovens is breathing now. Yep. All that wrestling. Now he's already breathing heavy. For real early in the fight. Should not have his mouth open, breathing already.
And his legs are very close together. It's like his legs are gassed out as well. Like he's not standing in a very good defensive position. When your legs are very close together like that, it's very hard to separate and move quickly.
Yes.
You're good right here. It's also just kind of a sign to your opponent you're taking a break.
Yes, exactly. Good back against the side of the octagon. Not trying to change the position, just accepting, which in all actuality is a very bad position. You should not be back against the fence getting kneed and beat on. It does not look good to the judges.
I think he just wants to catch a break, try to gather up some oxygen. Oh, Krylov tried that high kick from the separation.
Tonight's Corner Canvas brought to you by Body Armor. Make the switch to Body Armor, the official sports drink of UFC. More natural, better sports drink. Grab one today at Speedway.
I need some level changes into 7. Look at me!
Yeah.
Sit back. Good. You ain't tired. You don't get tired. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You push the pace. Look, you're doing a great job on the takedowns. Just don't squeeze the whole time, right?
Yeah.
What are we gonna do this round? Level changes into the 7.
Deep breath.
You understand? Slow everything down now. Slow everything down. Slow everything down. Everything good?
Yep.
Arms good?
Yep.
Hands up. He thinks you're gonna be tired.
Here we see Ovince St. Preux with the takedown. And here's another one. Beautiful trip on the outside. Now here's Krylov with a right hand, kick to the body, a beautiful right hand there that really connected on the chin. And Ovince St. Preux exhausted in between rounds, and he's getting up, and he literally looks wobbly.
Different visual on the other side. Nikita Krylov bouncing around, ready to go here for round 2.
Fight.
He just got a full-on massage. He should feel pretty good. Did you see that?
Yeah.
They massage his legs, massage his shoulders. That's what you see with a lot of the Russian wrestlers. The coaches massage them in between rounds.
Gotta let Bob Cook know, DC.
I know, right?
Good kick to the body there by Krylov. Krylov striking looks very smooth tonight. Light on his feet. And again, as we were talking about, he's got a combination of that Kyokushin style with more, oh, beautiful right hand. That woke Ovince up.
Yep.
Pull him away, take it down.
But we've seen Ovince St. Preux in this situation before where it looked like he was losing against Corey Anderson, and he landed a beautiful high kick to finish the fight. So you never can worry too much about Ovince's cardio. As his coach said in the corner, you don't get tired, just keep fighting.
And he now has Jason King, who is Lockhart certified, handling his nutrition. He came in leaner for his next fight. Still a big cut, though, for St. Preux.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, he looks much bigger than Nikita. That might be part of the problem here. I mean, certainly an advantage once he gets on top, but the struggle to get to that position is draining. Look at this. Nikita takes him down. Wow.
Oh, and the mount.
Full mount. That's crazy.
St. Preux gives up the back here.
Oh, no. Nikita's got his back. He's got the hooks in.
He's a little high. He's got to get his hips back a little bit. Look at that. He's going to fall over the top. He's got to get his hips back.
Krylov's got an outstanding rear naked choke. We'll see if he can find an opening.
Guys always ride so high. You don't do that unless you're like a great armbar person. That way, if you're falling off, you can attack the arm. Krylov is not going to attack the arm, so he needs to try to slide his hips back towards Ovince's legs.
Ooh.
Watch the back of the head. Watch the back of the head.
Elbow right on the ear for Krylov. Under 3 minutes here to go, round 2.
Oh, he's got it under the chin. He might have it here. He might have it.
I mean, if he taps, you know, a lot of this could be just that tight squeeze and tight space when you're so tired.
He's on the jaw. You hear
him breathing, yes. It's starting to slide under the neck. It's going. It's done.
And there's the tap. Nikita Krylov exacts his revenge. And that'll get Krylov into the light heavyweight top 15. That's a huge win for the Ukrainian Nikita Krylov tonight.
Huge win and very impressive. I mean, he looked fantastic. He had Ovince St. Preux exhausted by the end of the first round. His cardio held up great. His stand-up looked sharp and smooth. And, you know, that's real revenge, right? He was submitted, and now he submitted the man who submitted him 5 years later.
All right, let's look back at it. This fight replay is brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
I mean, you watch Krylov right here. He lifts, double leg takedown, hands locked, right into the mount. And now, he's just beating on Ovince, waiting for the moment to slip that arm under the neck. It wasn't under initially, but he just kept squeezing and squeezing and squeezing. You hear Ovince making these sounds, gasping for air. Eventually, Krylov gets the choke, gets submission victory, gets revenge. Great job by Nikita Krylov.
So once it is official for Nikita Krylov, it'll be his 7th UFC win, 15th career win by submission, and 26th overall finish in MMA. This official decision brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. With that decision, we now turn it over to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Blake Price has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 30 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by submission due to a rear naked choke, Nikita the Miner Krylov.
So Nikita Krylov has now won 5 of his last 6, and that should get him a big fight maybe sometime this summer in the light heavyweight division. All right, these fighter stats brought to you by Poker Stars. Pound for pound, the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on Poker Stars. Some good company there. In terms of the most submissions in UFC light heavyweight history, Krylov in a 5-way tie now, one behind the UFC light heavyweight champion, John Bones Jones.
We talk about Krylov's finishing skills. He gets another one and puts himself in pretty elite company in the UFC's light heavyweight division.
How about that guy in terms of light heavyweight company? Thiago Marreta Santos will get his first UFC title shot coming up this summer, and Jessica Andrade in a few weeks getting another title crack, this time against Rose Namajunas. That will be May 11th in Rio de Janeiro. Tonight's Locker Room Shots brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. Alan Jouban's been out for 14 months, in part due to surgery to take care of a pair of herniated discs in his neck. Tonight, though, he's hoping a win will get him a shot against someone in the top 15. That said, Dwight Grant also has visions of contention, and sooner rather than later. And after a bonus-winning knockout in late February, the man they call the Body Snatcher right back on the proving ground with a lot to prove tonight. UFC 236, Holloway Vs Poirier 2, is brought to you by Modelo Especial. Since 1925, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from, it matters what you're made of. Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. By Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. By P3, the official protein snack of UFC. And by Warrior, based on the writings of Bruce Lee, airing Fridays only on Cinemax.
At UFC 237, you have the champ, Rose Namajunas, traveling down to Rio de Janeiro to take on Jessica Andrade. This is a tall order for the champ, Namajunas. Jessica Andrade has been pining for another shot at the UFC title.
Eu quero muito esse cinturão. Dana, você tá aqui hoje. Faz isso acontecer. Eu quero lutar pelo cinturão com a Namajunas. Me coloca, eu quero o cinturão. Vamos lutar, eu tô pronta. Eu sei que eu posso.
She lost her initial attempt against Joanna Jędrzejczyk. After, she went right back to work. She got wins over Tisha Torres, Claudia Gadelha, and then starched Karolina Kowalkiewicz.
You gotta be kidding me. Jessica Andrade with a performance for the ages.
Very rarely do you see a woman that can end a fight with one punch at 115. Andrade is just power in a bottle. But Rose Namajunas is riding hot. She can do it all. From flying triangles to the submission of Paige Van Zandt to submitting Michelle Waterson. And then she stood with the greatest striker that division had ever seen in 2 straight fights.
There is a new strawweight queen!
After finishing Joanna Jędrzejczyk and then coming back and beating her in a 5-round decision, she is on fire.
Oh, she took it with the left. This is crazy.
Namajunas is so tough. She stays so calm. Nothing gets to her. This one is a must-see. You have 2 of the most skilled fighters in the world fighting for a title. I can't wait to be in Brazil. I can't wait to feel the energy. I can only imagine how it's going to feel to Rose and Jessica. It's going to be a special night down in Rio.
Strawweight division is heating up, ladies and gentlemen, and Jessica Andrade stands there as the #1 contender. That knockout of Karolina Kowalkiewicz, oh
man,
boy. And of course, Joanna Jędrzejczyk is still in the hunt, wants that title back. Tatiana Suarez might be the dark horse of the division. You want to talk about wrestling, there's not a woman who can compete with her in that division. Nina Ansarov has looked fantastic. Claudia Gadelha is always in the mix. It is a hot division right now.
Yeah, it's a great division, and this is a great fight card. Jared Cannonier in the top 10 after knocking out David Branch takes on Anderson Silva. But Jose Aldo versus Alexander Volkanovski is the fight. A young guy who's looking to put that head on a stick and make it and take it home with him. Look, it's a big fight. This is another great card. Unbelievable. It's going to be great. BJ Penn, Clay Guida, No little knob versus Ryan Spann is going to be fantastic and real.
8 p.m. Eastern for those UFC 237 prelims. Those are on ESPN May 11th, leading into the pay-per-view main card. These fighter odds brought to you by Poker Stars. Pound for pound, the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on Poker Stars. A lot of pick'em or close to it fights tonight. Alan Jouban closing as a slight betting underdog against Dwight Grant. And back in action for the first time in more than a year, Jouban expects to pick up where he left off when he draws the American Kickboxing Academy product, Dwight Grant. Welterweight's always looking for a fight. Alan Jouban and Dwight Grant meet in the octagon tonight, with Grant seeking a high-profile win for the resume, and Jouban attempting to keep the momentum going from his knockout of Ben Saunders.
Came off of a big win in my last fight. Had to sit out due to injuries. I'm ready to get back in here, put on a great performance, and get that momentum back, show the fans, remind the fans what type of fighter I am.
I feel this is the kind of fight that will bring out my best, because when I feel the person is in there and trying to finish me, it wakes something up in me that makes me want to get them out of there as fast as possible.
With 4 Fight of the Night bonuses to his credit, Alan Jouban is Mr. Reliable when it comes to all-action bouts. And as the veteran tries to make his case for a spot in the top 15, Brahma has to deliver the goods by defeating rising star Dwight Grant.
Dwight's not going to be able to keep up with my pace tonight. The pressure, strikes, the energy that I bring inside of the octagon, it's a lot. If you've never seen this before, coming from a technical fighter as I am, it's a lot to keep up with. I think it's going to be too much for him tonight.
A disputed split decision loss to Zach Otto wasn't what Dwight Grant expected in his UFC debut. So he promised he'd be letting his hands go with urgency in all of his future fights. To that end, in February, it took him a single round to dispatch Carlo Pedersoli, proving that he's not just a heck of a fighter, but also a man of his word.
If this hype surrounding me is there for a reason, it's because I finished my fights by KO. A lot of these guys talk about things, but when they fight, it's different. I go in there, I tell you what I'm going to do, and then I get it done.
They call him the body snatcher because he drops people with body shots, I guess, at AKA there in San Jose, California. Dwight Grant, DC, your teammate making the walk for his 3rd UFC appearance here tonight. Here was a guy who had a hard time getting fights. Twice as a pro, he got into the cage and his opponent never made the walk. It's no problem once he got to the UFC getting these fights.
No, guys will fight you when you get to the UFC, but it's so good to see these young guys that train in the gym finally being on UFC pay-per-views and everything. Dwight Grant took a chance. He moved out to New York with nothing, with his wife, and she believed in him. And he used to spar me and Kane and Luke, and he was small, but he did it. And he started developing more and more and more. And now he's a guy that can finish anyone with any shot. He hits so hard. And the left body shot is truly something to behold. And now he's learned to actually throw it to the body and then take it up, and it lands almost like an uppercut. It is amazing. Last guy, he knocked his mouthpiece all the way across the octagon. Right. Dude's a finisher, man, and he hits so hard. Just watch.
He's got tremendous power and tremendous confidence in that power. He knows that when he's throwing those wild bombs, if they connect, it's boom, boom, out go the lights. And he shares a nickname with one of my all-time favorite boxers, Mike McCallum, the body snatcher.
Yes. Well, DC, we're so old that 34 sounds young. I mean, what has happened?
I know.
Dwight Grant trying to make it 2 straight here on the greatest proven ground in the sport. So here's Alan Jouban making the walk for his 12th UFC appearance, and Megan O'Leary, given all that he has been through over the last year or so, there were no guarantees he was going to ever get this chance to make this walk again.
Yeah, absolutely, and he was really honest about that when we spoke yesterday. He said, you know, I had 3 really serious injuries that kept me out for 14 months. He said now that he's actually at fight week, this is a totally different feeling for him. He used to be really nervous and really anxious, kind of worried about the fight itself. He said now he's just been enjoying every single step of the way. His son, Cage, is here in the audience. He said his last fight was the first time he brought his son, and it really motivated him. He's hoping to have that same feeling again as he steps into the octagon, knowing his son's in the building.
Joe, a couple of herniated discs in his neck, broke 3 bones in his foot in the Ben Saunders fight, had to have bone fragments in his elbow cleaned up. 37 years old, believes a win tonight might position him for a shot against somebody in the top 15, but he knows one direction, that is forward. He's an all-action guy.
He is an all-action guy, and I've trained with Alan. He's a 10th Planet guy from back in the day, and he's always been an incredibly hard worker, disciplined, super intelligent, very technical in his striking, and it really has gone more towards the striking aspect of the sport than the grappling, and has some outstanding wins, including the last one over Ben Saunders. He's got a victory over Mike Perry, Bilal Muhammad, so he's a very, very talented fighter.
Yeah, he can finish anybody. I mean, his last performance, he looked phenomenal. He's a fantastic striker, very well-rounded mixed martial artist, and feels he's just better than Dwight Grant. He says he's never seen anyone that has the technical ability with the power that he possesses in there. Just honestly feels like the Dwight Grant is going to be in over his head right now.
He brought in Chris Strelo, a 6'3" amateur boxer, to try to mimic some of what Dwight Grant does. He also said of Grant, respectfully, he doesn't smell blood in the water. So I'm back tonight, and I am back to remind people exactly what I can do. All right, tonight's Tale of the Tape is brought to you by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Alan Jouban, as we mentioned, is 37. Dwight Grant, the young man, at 34. Grant 1 inch taller. Both fighters weighing in at 171 pounds. Grant will have a reach advantage of 2.5 inches. All right, now for the particulars. Back inside of Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 9 wins, 2 losses. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 171 pounds. Fighting out of San Jose, California, Dwight the Body Snatcher Grant. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a striker holding a professional record, 16 wins, 6 losses. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 171 pounds. Fighting out of Los Angeles, California, by way of Lafayette, Louisiana, Alan Rama Jouban. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, George Allen.
George Allen is back for more. Keith Peterson has the nickname No Nonsense, right? So we got to figure out something for your boy George
it's
Allen.
Swaggy G, baby.
Oh, that's right, Swaggy G. That's right. Alan Jouban and Dwight Grant.
You ready?
Dwight Grant has leaned a lot on the UFC Performance Institute. Grant is wearing blue. Alan Jouban is in black. Tonight's Fight Clock brought to you by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
I talked a lot about the left hook of Dwight Grant, but the right body kick is also very powerful, especially when he's fighting someone that's a southpaw.
Interesting story. We'll try to get it in. Dwight Grant, when he got the first email from Clint Wattenberg, our director of nutrition at the UFC PI, was like, man, I fought that guy in my pro debut. Wattenberg, an outstanding collegiate wrestler, and that has been something that Dwight Grant has really tried to shore up of late. Gets taken down here by Jouban.
That's very unexpected. Alan Jouban threw a straight left hand and immediately went for the clinch to takedown. He just barely missed a head kick.
Barely missed that head kick on the break.
But Alan Jouban with the takedown attempt is keeping him honest. That's unexpected. Jouban's style is almost always to strike.
Oh, big punch by Grant.
Grant is throwing hay.
He throws everything so hard. He can do it going backwards, too. Jouban has to be very careful as he engages with Dwight Grant.
Jouban very good at making in-fight adjustments and capitalizing on in-fight momentum. He felt like those things could be key in this matchup with Dwight Grant tonight. A little slip there by the body snatcher.
At times, Dwight can overextend himself because he's trying to throw so hard. He needs to stay within himself whenever he's trying to lead the dance.
Jouban has fought some dangerous knockout artists before, including Perry, Mike Perry, and Tumanov. Tumanov, who's one of the nastier strikers in the division. So he's been in there with dangerous guys.
Yeah.
He knows how to protect himself.
It's just so different with Grant because he's throwing from positions that you don't expect him to be carrying power. Yeah, you don't expect him to be carrying power, backing up, fading, and throwing a right uppercut.
He's also forcing Joban to lead. Oh! He hurt him with that.
Woo! Woo! And that's the danger in the engagement there. But Joban hit him pretty good. Last couple guys he's been hit like that, he's put the lights out.
Grant has certainly earned Joban's respect when it comes to his power. Coming up on 2 minutes here to go, round one.
Well, Joban understands now there's some serious danger in these exchanges.
Joban undefeated as an amateur in MMA, had back-to-back go-go plotters at one point in time, never had a submission win as a pro.
Beautiful inside leg kick by Joban. Saxon Muay Thai trained.
It's just a big difference in Dwight Grant's fight with Zach Otto to the comfortable posture that he takes now as he's in his third UFC fight, or fourth UFC fight.
That was a nice left hook over the top by Dwight Grant. Throws those looping punches that come around your shoulder. You don't see them coming until they're on your face. Ooh, Joban goes up high.
Joban leans in with the right hand.
Joban is reaching. Oh, he connected there with the left hand. He's really picking up the pace here.
Dwight Grant has to be very careful of fading back with his chin up in the air. When he's throwing those punches, his chin is way high.
Grant tried to stick in that short uppercut. Under 20 seconds now to go in the round.
You get the feel that Joban thinks that he's got his timing now.
Yeah, he sees those looping punches coming and he's been ducking under them now. Joban looking for the head kick there and inside. We got clipped with that one though. Boy, Dwight throws punches at strange angles.
Very strange angles. That's why they land.
And there's power to them.
Tonight's Corner Cam brought to you by Body Armor. Make the switch to Body Armor, the official sports drink of UFC. More natural, better sports drink. Grab one today at Speedway.
And let's play the kicking game, but let's set those kicks up a lot more. How you feeling? Good. Good? Hey. You see him trying to hit you with that check hook. He's trying to time you with that check hook. So give him those feints so he can throw it. And then you can set up some punches with that kick, man, because his body is open when he throws that check hook. Okay. Nice, good levels. You have good pressure on him. You have nice pressure. The pressure you're stalking him down with, he'll keep backing up. So you're having it nice. Set up with those nice feints. Keep that fucking hand glued to your head. I like knowing the time. It's good. Okay? Yeah. One more to the inside. You saw how much that hurt him. That was just one.
Right here, you see the inside kick from Dwight Grant. Right here, boom, left hook. Watch the right hand follow. Wow, it was crazy that Joban took this. Joban got hit clean there, but he took it, which gave him confidence to continue to pursue Dwight Grant, especially as the fight gets longer.
Well, it's an exciting week ahead on UFC Fight Pass, kicking off with Pancrase live from Japan. That immediately follows UFC 236. Then back-to-back events, Tuesday and Wednesday from Absolute Muay Thai and Alaska Fighting Championship. And the week concludes with Roy Jones Jr. Boxing, Titan FC, and Cage Warriors. All month long, UFC Fight Pass has you covered. Round two here. Alan Joban is in black out of the southpaw stance. Dwight Grant fighting out of an orthodox stance in blue.
The corner, Joban said, give him feints to try to draw the check hook, and then you can attack.
Oh, he hurt him. He hurt him. Boy, Dwight Grant just throws looping, wild punches. They're so unorthodox and dangerous.
It's like one of those guys that has this tremendous power that every moment you're in there, you feel like you're constantly under attack.
That we just saw the replay, landed flush on the forehead. And for a guy in Dwight Grant, sometimes you don't know exactly where you stand until you get that requisite step up in competition. So far, so good.
Well, Joe Band's chin is really holding up as he has gotten tested.
Joe Band has landed just 11 times unofficially at a 32% clip. Coming up on 3.5 to go here, round 2. Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
Close that fist down.
Joe Band's having a very difficult time trapping him. He's allowing him to evade and get out of the traps that he's trying to set because he's following Grant. He's not cutting him off.
Good inside leg kick by Grant and an outside.
Using a lot of good movement. Allen's got to throw more leg kicks in order to stop him from moving. Outside leg kick on the right side as Grant's trying to escape to his left.
Joe Band trying to force the issue here with forward motion. Right back to that lead leg.
And across the top by Dwight.
Justin Willis screaming out of the Dwight Grant corner for him to follow up. Nice stick and move by Dwight Grant. Coming up on 2 minutes here to go round 2.
Joe Band's doing a good job of estimating the timing. So when Grant goes to fire, Joe Band's got this little bit of hesitation. He knows when it's coming, and then he's pulling back just in time. The thing about it is, though, he's not making Dwight Grant pay for it.
Yep,
yeah,
you're
he's
right.
not punishing him. He's avoiding the shots and he's pushing the pace, but he's like right there. He's not making him pay.
Dwight throws such big shots that he usually is out of position if they miss.
What I like about what Joe Band's doing, though, is he's sticking to the game plan. He's staying technical. He's not getting desperate. He's not doing anything irrational. Good footwork and movement.
Or there's just too much danger in being reckless.
Yeah, he hasn't really stung Dwight, though.
Dwight has landed the more significant of the strikes. But Joe Band has gotten a little bit closer as the fight's going on.
You can tell Joe Band certainly respects the power of Dwight Grant, though.
Yep.
He's not taking any chances. And the audience is not enjoying it.
Well, the expectation was these guys were going to stand and trade. Joe Band, in theory, figured to have the wrestling/grappling advantage, but hasn't really attempted more than that one early takedown.
Well, as he tried to engage in that type of fight, he felt the power of Grant, and it's made him change. And honestly, he's fought a pretty smart fight since.
A little slip there by Joe Band. You see some of the damage on his lead leg, courtesy of Dwight Grant. Ten minutes in the can.
Sit down, take a seat, take a seat. All right, this round, we need to be prepared because you know he's gonna try to wrestle, okay? Yeah. You know he is, all right? But he's frustrated, your movement is awesome, I love it, okay? Yeah. Keep it going, keep it active. All right. So what?
You're chasing him though. You're not cutting him off. Okay. Cut him off. Okay. Step hard to your right and cut him off. Throw some feints because all he's against the cage. All he's trying to do is that check left hook. Yeah. That's your opportunity to fucking go in straight left if you want. Breathe.
Relax.
All day.
Okay.
All day.
Fight the same way you've been fighting. Capitalize on some of those power opportunities. Keep that fucking hand up. You're stalking him down perfect. Perfect.
Another inside kick, and that hurt again.
Round 3 is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of the UFC. DC, you heard the Dwight Grant corner there. They're expectant that Alan Jouban's going to wrestle here. Your thoughts?
Yes, they expect him to wrestle. They like the movement from Dwight Grant. They want him to stay on that movement. Let Jouban continue to be frustrated as the fight is continuing into the third round.
Well, this is a very difficult fight to score because it's been fairly uneventful.
And it's very close. I mean,
yes.
From Jouban with the very good octagon control. He's the guy pressing the whole time to the big explosions of Dwight Grant.
But when you're rating damage, like significant strikes, you're going off either the leg kicks of Jouban or the big punches of Grant.
Yes. I feel the fight's very close. The corner of Jouban said it. They said, you're not cutting him off. You're following him. Take advantage of some of those power opportunities. They wanted the straight left.
Jouban
there.
Yeah. You see that damage on the back of Jouban's lead leg.
I mean, it kind of seems like if anybody does anything big in this round, they could win this fight.
Could be their fight.
Yes. But outside of that very first takedown, Jouban hasn't even attempted to take Grant down again.
Grant ready to counter.
That was a quick high kick.
Yes, and nice. You know, a lot of people say those don't land, but even if you block them a little bit, they still put damage on you.
Both guys landing less than 37% of their strike attempts. Grant goes high again. Jouban ready, not for that one.
Jouban needs to get some offense going.
Yes, he's just pressing without any action right now.
Well, it's the consequences. He's so worried about Dwight Grant's power, so concerned, I should say. Like right there.
As agitated as this Atlanta crowd has been all night, there's been a lot to cheer about. Jouban unofficially has been advancing 47% of the time, but he has not been the more effective striker. Pausing the action here due to an inadvertent groin strike.
It went low. That one went a little bit low. It looked like he tried to knee, and the foot might have caught him on the way up.
Unfortunately, I heard.
Oh, man.
Well, I don't think
I'm not even going to look at it, but we just go over there. You're fine.
Whoa.
No question there.
No question about that one.
That might be the cleanest one we've ever seen.
Don't start before you're ready, okay?
So we always talk about these fighters having 5 minutes to recover from a groin strike. You don't necessarily get that for an eye poke. But wouldn't Dwight Grant be wise to take his sweet time here?
Yeah, you take your time, man. You just take your time. You got 5 minutes.
I think sometimes you feel the urgency from the crowd. You know.
Ready? Stay right there. Stay right there. You go, fight!
I'm just watching the ref the whole time, just kind of kicking back. Like, I love the guy.
He's got style.
He does have style. He's got gold shoes on.
Jouban's picking up the pace here.
He has to.
Yeah.
But he can't run into one of those check right, left hooks.
Well, Jouban told us Thursday he realizes the window is small He's got some work to do here in the final 2 minutes. 37 years old, hoping to crack that top 15, maybe make one final run.
Oh, he clipped him there with the right hand.
You can tell Grant is powerful because the reactions Joban gives when he goes to attack him are very big and just evasive. Not looking to counter, he's just trying to get out of the way.
Strong leg kick from Joban. 80 seconds to go.
And now he's doing a better job when he's putting his techniques together, not just one.
4 UFC knockouts and as many bonuses for Joban coming in, but just has had a hard time consistently finding the range tonight.
The style is just very odd for him. Like Grant will do this big dip, right? He'll do the big dip as he throws a punch. His head's off the center, and not as you usually expect the guy's head to slide off the center line. It's so crazy, too, because Grant fights with that style where he's always kind of backing up. But there's so much danger in when you try to attack him. But we saw it in the Zach Otto fight. He was doing this and seemed to be successful, but then he ended up losing the decision. It's optics. The optics don't look all that good when you're the guy that's always backing up like that.
No. Yeah, and Joban is cornered on a little bit in this round. Oh, nice left hook to the body there by Grant. Taken outside by Joban, gets the back.
Final 10 seconds. It has been a strong third round for Alan Joban.
And that's a great finish. Look at that. Judges remember seeing this. In a fight this close, this round obviously goes to Alan Joban, right? With one big action like that.
A lot of mutual respect there between Alan Joban and Dwight Grant. Joban offering up an apology to the fans here in Atlanta. They go the distance tonight. This fight replay brought to you by Nemiroff Bold Character since 1872.
Joe, enjoy yourself with the replays. Go ahead, Joe.
The takedown from Joban early on in the fight. And here's the inside leg kick. Look, this is not the most eventful fight in the world, but it was a technical fight. Joban did a smart thing to avoid that. When he got hit by those big shots early in the fight, I think that was a bit of a wake-up call. Dwight Grant carries some serious power, and Joban had to play the Matador. I mean, I know his nickname is Brahma. He's the bull, but in this fight, he was the Matador in a lot of ways. But I liked the end of the fight, took the back, got him down, landed some good ground and pound, and that could have won him the fight.
All right, these fighter stats brought to you by Poker Stars. Pound for pound, the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on Poker Stars. Round one, a big one for the body snatcher Dwight Grant. And you see not much happening the rest of the way between Joban and Grant, who go the distance tonight.
Those are kind of crazy numbers. Like, look at that. 6 landed, 10 landed in a round.
And those are total. We're not even talking significant strikes, just total strikes landed between Alan Joban and Dwight Grant.
And a lot of times you look at a fight card and you go, oh, this is the one that's going to deliver, right? A lot of times you just kind of think you match guys up like this and you're going to get an exciting fight and you just don't get it.
Well, Eric Anders and Khalil Roundtree are next.
Get hype.
That is going to be chaos.
All right, the official decision brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. With those scorecards, now is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Derek clearly scores the contest 29-28 Grant. Anthony Menez scores it 30-27 Joban. And Ken Coffey scores the contest 29-28 for the winner by split decision, Dwight the Body Snatcher Grant.
Wow. Dwight Grant, your winner by split decision tonight.
You can't be that upset whenever you know, I understand the danger in the fight, but when it's that close and you landed 28 strikes, you can't be that upset. You can't feel that strongly that you won that fight. So as they're both standing up there, they've both got to be terrified at what the judges are going to read.
Dwight Grant didn't look happy, which is kind of confusing. I mean, Oh, look at that.
She always throws a lot of strikes.
And Amanda Nunes putting Tyron Woodley in a choke, and the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Famer, Shaquille O'Neal. Octagon side for UFC 236 tonight. All right, these fighter odds brought to you by Poker Stars. Pound for pound, the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on Poker Stars. Anders, about a 2-to-1 favorite here tonight. Khalil Roundtree Jr., the natural light heavyweight, coming back at plus 160. And given the styles of Anders and Roundtree Jr., the stage is set for a memorable encounter between two rising stars, both of whom would prefer to leave their fate out of the judges' hands. Eric Anders has gone on record saying he will fight all comers from middleweight to heavyweight. And tonight, he will get a bout at light heavyweight as he takes on knockout artist Khalil Roundtree Jr. in a fight expected to produce for as long as it lasts.
Tonight there's a lot of potential for fireworks. Eric's a tough guy, I'm a tough guy. We both got a lot to prove, and I think both of us want to make fireworks.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great fight between Khalil and I tonight. You know, he's a lefty, I'm a lefty. He likes to stand and bang, I like to stand and bang. You know, I think that we're going to meet in the middle, touch gloves, and get right to work.
One of the most active fighters in the UFC, Eric Anders made the walk 4 times in 2018, picking up 2 bonuses along the way. And as he gets ready for his first bout of 2019, Alabama's Anders has big plans for the year ahead.
The key to getting my hand raised tonight is to go out there and do what I do. Bite down on that mouthpiece, throw early and often and heavy, and, you know, make them feel me.
When Khalil Roundtree Jr. is on top of his game, spectacular knockouts usually follow, with Daniel Jolly, Paul Craig, and Gokhan Saki all falling at the hands, knees, and feet of the Las Vegas. Tonight, he takes his striking show to Atlanta and is eager to get down to business with Eric Anders.
In order to get my hand raised tonight, I gotta be myself. I gotta be athletic, I gotta be strong, I gotta be Khalil Roundtree, the full version.
All right, Joe Rogan, here's Khalil Roundtree Jr. making the walk for his 8th UFC appearance. I've always appreciated his appetite for knowledge. He always had plans to go to Thailand, and after getting dominated by Johnny Walker in the clinch, he went there expecting to go for a month. Now he's going to move his whole life there, and he just feels like all the drilling and the way they do things in Thailand has him mentally and physically primed to go here tonight.
Yeah, I've been enjoying watching his training on social media, his Instagram page. He has been showing all the different training things that he's been doing, all of the different drills and kicking the pads and working with all the Thai trainers, and it looks like he's having a great time down there.
Yeah.
But he had a really hard time in the Johnny Walker fight, but as we've seen, Johnny Walker's a scary and frightening individual. But before that, he knocked out Gokhan Saki, who's one of the all-time great kickboxers. That was a huge, huge win for him. He landed a beautiful left hand and followed it up with some nasty hammer fists. He's super talented with his striking and just a really explosive and dynamic presence in the light heavyweight division.
You know, he's very explosive, he's dynamic, but the key word for him on Thursday was consistency. He said he could have these massive moments, but then he could follow it up with a fight like the Johnny Walker fight. And he said he's got to find it. He said, and he feels like this is the beginning of that, Joe. He said, because emotionally, he can be so high and then be knocked so low. He's got nothing left to lose emotionally. And he feels that that is going to allow him to just be free inside of the octagon. I asked him, I said, Khalil, how soon can we expect to see these changes? And he goes, right away. He goes, I have done so many things so consistently in my life now, I expect him to show in the octagon. It's just consistency was the key word for him on Thursday.
He spent the last 6 weeks of his camp at the famed Tiger Muay Thai. George Hickman is in his corner here tonight. And Roundtree Jr. feels like if he relies on technique and fights a smart technical fight, that he will emerge with the win against Eric, your boy, Anders. So here is the Birmingham, Alabama native of Eric Anders, 7th UFC appearance for him. A lot of health issues of late. He kept a busy schedule, fought 4 times in 2018, had 3 surgeries, nose, broken hand, an ulnar nerve transfer in his right arm. He's training with Mark Montoya and times also Chris Connolly, his longtime chief corner at Spartan MMA. It's interesting, Joe, because Montoya wants him at 205 pounds. Anders still has visions of a middleweight run, but they feel like they put in all the right work in advance of this Roundtree Jr. fight tonight.
Well, this is I mean, if you want to watch a wild, crazy fight, stylistically, this is about as good as it gets. Yeah. Eric Anders comes forward, he throws bombs, he's got real power and a love for these exchanges. I mean, this guy's a wild, aggressive fighter coming from that football background and knows he's kind of, making up for lost time and really developing his mixed martial arts game. And when you see a guy like Eric Anders, who's been so devastating with his knockout power, you want to see him tested against a real classically trained striker like Khalil Roundtree. And that's one of the reasons why I'm really looking forward to this fight.
And Eric Anders hasn't been here all that long, but he seems to have an understanding of sport. We said, how do you feel, Eric, about having 2 straight losses? And he goes, it's just competition. There's a winner and a loser every time. I can only just try to get better. And that's what they did. He said they went back to square one, working on everything, athletic ability, footwork, combination. He knows it may sound cliche, but he says you will see the best Eric Anders that you've ever seen.
All right, ready to go with this featured bout of light heavyweight. Tonight's Tale of the Tape is brought to you by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Eric Anders will be 32 in 8 days. Khalil Roundtree Jr. still on the right side of 30. Both fighters 6'1" tall. Both fighters successfully making weight. Another light heavyweight start for Eric Anders tonight. Reach advantage for Roundtree Jr. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC light heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record. 8 wins, 3 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 6'1" tall, weighing in at 206 pounds. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Khalil Roundtree Jr. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record. 11 wins, 3 losses. He stands 6'1" tall, weighing in at 205 pounds. Fighting out of Birmingham, Alabama, Eric, your boy, Anders. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
Love hearing Buffer say your boy, Jason Herzog, our referee. Brittany Palmer is here. Tonight's Crowd Shots brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. Eric Anders, Khalil Roundtree Jr. Tonight's Fight Clock brought to you by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Anders out of the southpaw stances in black. Fellow southpaw Khalil Roundtree Jr. in gray.
Oh, you see
Khalil's already tried to fight with the tie stance. Look at that front leg, real light.
Tie stance and even the scream when he's kicking. I mean, he's adopted it. Yeah, he's adopted it.
Oh, he's all in.
Well, he's so excited about the training there.
Yeah.
And he's so excited about really learning Muay Thai from the motherland.
Right.
And there's so many great Muay Thai trainers in America, but man, there's something special about being able to train in Thailand.
Yeah. He's just such a receptive student in terms of the drilling. They tell him to do something, he does it.
Look at how light he is on that front leg, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's moving like a Thai fighter.
Yeah, that's traditional Thai fighter. And he's got Anders a little bit frozen. Anders is looking at him like, what's this dude doing?
Oh! That inside kick, that switch off the right leg is beautiful. Oh, man, speed with that left as well.
Anders has got to start checking those to do something different. He's got to be the guy going forward against Roundtree when Roundtree's fighting like this.
Man, that is clean.
I mean, already look at the redness on the inside of the leg. 2 kicks.
But these kicks are so much better than we've seen from him before. We've seen a significant improvement in his technique. It just looks incredibly sharp.
Talked a lot about the confidence gained as well. Good start for Roundtree Jr.
Oh, man.
Some guys who knock out Gokhan Saki might be feeling themselves, rest on their laurels. Roundtree Jr. essentially did the opposite.
Roundtree's coaches are like, okay, now take your time. Back on the feints. Don't rush. He has really got Anders confused at this moment right now.
Well, Anders made him reach there as he pretended to go for a leg.
It would benefit Anders to keep on faking takedowns, or actually attempt a takedown. Because right now he's getting that lead leg beat up.
Beat up bad.
Woo! It won't take many of those.
No, I mean, he's already compromised. The speed that Khalil Roundtree is throwing those kicks with, it's something to behold. And Anders has got a puzzle in front of him that he is trying to solve.
About 3 minutes in, Eric Anders has yet to land a strike.
The key to Eric Anders, though, is he only needs one.
Yep, he's a big, powerful guy. That leg's gonna be beat up. It's already getting beat up bad. And honestly, a lot of times, inside kicking is the one that you don't want to do too much because that thing gets checked. You're hurt right away.
Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman.
I mean, that was the worst case of it, you know, but like, you're hurt right away.
Yeah.
He has no fear, and look at that. Now Anders is taking missteps.
Well, Khalil is throwing it so fast, it's hard to read, and he's throwing it off that light bounce. That light bounce with very little weight on that front leg is allowing him to slam that in there so quick with no telegraphing.
And
Come on, son.
Here's the benefit, right, Joe?
Oh my goodness.
Roundtree's doing Muay Thai in Thailand, and Eric Anders is a great athlete, but he was a guy that played football.
And not just played football, had a huge national championship game in 2009 for Alabama.
But he's not a fighter. You know, he's not a guy that fought his whole life. He's an athlete. Oh man, that leg's all beat up. Oh, he's got to start throwing now.
There are dudes right now booking their trip to Thailand.
I mean, when you're looking at Khalil Roundtree, looking the way he's looking right now, yes, you should be on your way there.
They're checking flights to Phuket. Beautiful knee to the body.
And it's all with no wind-up, Joe.
Yes, no telegraphing.
Anders has got to do something to change this.
I mean, he's doing it all Thai style. I mean, he really is.
One of those would put me out for like 6 months.
I think you sell yourself short, J.A.
Thank you. Well, Khalil Roundtree Jr. told you that he was going to put these tools to use and reach these strides right away.
Eric's right leg is toast, folks.
Beat up
the way
bad,
he just went to throw that punch, his leg gave out as he was throwing it.
Tonight's Corner Cam brought to you by Body Armor. Make the switch to Body Armor, the official sports drink of UFC. More natural, better sports drink. Grab one today at Speedway.
Okay, they need to get some ice on that leg right now.
You're letting him dictate pace, okay? He's getting off first. You can't let him dictate pace. He's coming with those low kicks. I need you to find handwork to your blend. Let's work up against the cage or your takedown, okay? Your stick push is there. Your hands are there, but you got to crack back. You got to own center. You got to go first. Listen to Chris.
When he goes in an inside leg kick, your straight left hand is there. Turn in to check it and fire that left hand. We're just looking at it.
So they don't ice that leg. The leg kicks from Khalil Roundtree Jr. Certainly the storyline, the narrative in round one. And take a listen back to that action.
That's a bat to meat, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you got to get some ice on that leg.
I'm so impressed with the way Khalil is moving and kicking. I'm so impressed.
And he's not even breathing heavy at all.
Well, I mean, he wasn't tested. It was all him. I mean, that was the clear Roundtree Jr. show that first round.
Now he's sitting down a little bit.
Left hand drops Anders.
He's sitting in his stance way more to start that round.
I mean, when Eric gets up, he might have a broken leg.
Bro, he is getting beat up. Khalil Roundtree Jr. is beating up Eric Anders. Like, just beating him up.
fist from Roundtree Jr.
He's gonna let him up.
Now look at the stance. Look at the stance. Look at how much he was sitting a little bit more at the start of this round. Now he's back in that tie stance.
Well, he sat down to throw that left hand.
Yeah.
Oh!
It's over.
That's
It's
it.
over. Holy smokes.
Oh, my goodness.
2 early knockdowns, round 2 for Khalil Roundtree Jr.
That left hook was nasty.
See if he chooses to welcome Anders back to his feet here. Nope.
He's just targeting that one leg, too. He's so mean.
Because now the outside's getting beat.
Yeah, it's just toast. Look at that.
Anders with a desperation shot. 3.5 to go, round 2.
Look, we've seen Eric Anders in some tough fights.
Yes.
The Thiago Santos fight in particular. We've never seen him shut out like this.
Well, he's never been washed out. This is bad.
I mean, this is about as clean a beautiful knee to the body.
Look at Eric's face too, Joe. He's confused, man. His eyes are wide. He looks lost.
No,
but he's still fighting them.
Yeah,
yep,
I mean, last thing he's looking for is a way out. 3 minutes to go, round 2.
But this guy's competed. Anders has competed at such a high level. He would never quit.
Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
No, and he's shown no indication of quitting ever in his career. He will go out on his shield. He will lose. He will come back better. But I've just never seen him shut down like this.
No, never.
And I've never seen Khalil Roundtree look better. Look at that. I mean, the timing, the precision, the confidence.
He's a new fighter.
It's a different man.
Yep.
And if he had any lingering questions about moving to Thailand, they're all
Stop the fight. Stop the fight.
I mean, this referee.
Come on.
Looked like Jason Herzog thought about stopping the fight.
Thinking about it, but Anders just wants to keep fighting. It's the toughness of Eric Anders that is not allowing Jason Herzog to stop the fight.
Yeah. I almost think he's too tough for his own good. Khalil should just back up, let him up.
3 monumental knockdowns in this round for Khalil Roundtree Jr. Somehow Eric Anders still in this fight.
Look at Khalil touch the gloves out of respect. I appreciate that.
Well, you saw in that Thiago Santos fight, Anders sort of stumbling back to his corner. One tough customer, but getting all he can handle from Roundtree Jr. tonight. Man.
Oh!
Well, this is how you maximize a pay-per-view showcase if you're Khalil Roundtree Jr. Did it against Gokhan Saki last summer at UFC 226.
Jason's looking at his eyes as a good referee should. He sees he's still there.
He's still there and he doesn't want to quit. He's not going to quit. You got to take him out, man.
Is this one of those situations where maybe the coach has to say between rounds like this is it?
Yes.
Or no?
Yes, I think so. I mean, if he makes it to the end of this round, there's still 48 seconds to go. If he makes it, his coach should put his hands on his head and say, listen, my brother.
We love you, buddy.
Yeah, this is it.
It's done.
You can't move right. You're getting chewed up. We don't want you to get permanently injured. I mean, he can't even kick anymore. He can't hold himself up with that right leg.
Next level heart from Eric Anders, who's been knocked down 4 times emphatically, all in this second round.
And he ate another one there. I mean, when he went to throw that left kick, you see how little power it had on it because his supporting leg is just not able to pivot correctly. And Khalil's playing with him now.
If you're Coach Montoya, you really got to take a look at your guy and go, hey, bud, I think it's over. Let's live to fight another day.
Yeah.
Let's fight another day, bud.
I mean, they're talking to him now, but he's never going to say, I quit.
No, he won't quit.
It's not going to come out of his mouth. The coach might have to talk to him.
Deep breath for me.
You okay?
All right, listen. Okay, listen. You're throwing combos on the inside, but then you're letting him trade combos. If you're going to look at me. If you're going to trade combos, we got to go to body attack, meaning takedown or body lock or finish from there, okay?
This, ladies and gentlemen, is precision striking. Khalil Roundtree Jr. with a right-left. Look at this beautiful left hand. Just sits Eric Anders down. I mean, polished. Beautiful striking by Khalil. Look at this right hook. Boom, over the top. Over and over and over again. He landed, dropped Eric Anders 3 times in that round. And you can make a real good argument for stopping this fight in the corner.
Round 3 is upon us. It is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of the UFC. And the doctor is going to check on Eric Anders here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
What is he doing pushing on his hands? What was that
Just
about?
to see how much resistance he got back. I don't know.
What? Eric Anders is a savage. He's pushing his hands down.
Look at Eric Anders.
Yeah.
Eric Anders still wanting to fight.
Of course he
He's
wants
tough,
to fight.
man.
Look, the guy is a savage. There's no doubt about it. He's never going to quit. He's a warrior. He's going to go out on his shield. He's going to try to win until he gets taken out.
But what if he does win though?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what if he does knock him out? Oh, my goodness.
Well, it can
that
happen.
would be the craziest.
It can happen.
Yeah, it can happen.
Sure.
And every moment he's in there, he's so big and powerful he has a chance.
Yes.
But logic says, with the way this fight has gone,
well, he looks better right now, I'll tell you that. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Pick your poison.
2 more on the outside.
I was wondering when Roundtree would start throwing him outside.
Well, the buzzword on Roundtree Jr. coming off The Ultimate Fighter was potential, and he's realizing a whole lot of that tonight. Anders just not able to mount any significant offense at all tonight.
Khalil's throwing wild stuff now.
There are sometimes you're in there with a guy and you don't really feel as in danger as you should in a fight. And you can start to do things that you may not have normally done.
And then you get caught.
Yes, so you better be careful.
Yeah. But the question is, can Eric Anders generate that kind of power now with that compromised leg? Oh, man, he got tagged again, but at least he's up. But he's showing no regard for Anders' power, though.
Again, I think maybe that's because of what you're saying, Joe. Like the leg's so compromised, he can't really sit on his strikes as he normally would.
Yeah.
He sat on that left hand.
Something bothering Anders in that left eye.
Roundtree's listening to his corner. They called for that combination. He just threw it. Right on command.
Roundtree Jr. not forcing the finish, going to the inside of that lead leg again effectively.
Oh, my goodness.
Sunday and Monday and Tuesday are going to suck for Eric Anders.
And Wednesday.
And that leg and Thursday and Friday. Boy.
Wonder how that compares to the football soreness. Playing middle linebacker in the SEC.
You know you're sore after those football games, but his legs never felt like this before.
But you got to think that if Khalil decided to really start chopping that leg, he could stop this fight with just that.
But Anders, look at that. He's mounting offense now.
But if Khalil just started going to the outside over and over and over again, how many more can Eric Anders take? Especially on the outside.
This has been the most effective round for Eric Anders.
For sure. Third round, after taking all that damage, this is the round he's looked the best in.
But we say that charitably.
We do.
Right? Because it's
he's
not
still
like he's
losing.
winning.
Yes, I understand.
He's losing this round. And he hasn't connected with anything significant. But he doesn't look helpless. It's just a testament to how good Khalil Roundtree looks.
Yeah. I've never seen Khalil Roundtree look this good in a fight before.
Never.
Ever.
And this is a dangerous matchup.
And even though he knocked out Gokhan Saki, I've never seen him look like this. So complete, so confident, so cool under fire. Never.
Yeah, the Gokhan Saki fight was just a perfectly placed punch.
Yes. But I mean, when you knock out Gokhan Saki, that usually would be your greatest performance, you know?
Well, to the surprise of some, Khalil Roundtree Jr., a plus 160 underdog in this matchup with Eric Anders tonight.
Well, there'll be no more of that.
Yeah. Under 30 seconds now to go in this one. Coming up next, the UFC interim middleweight championship, Israel Adesanya and Kelvin Gastelum. Mercifully for Anders, the final 10 seconds of this fight.
And Eric Anders is a beast. He's still out there fighting, trying to win. I mean,
yeah,
so much respect for that guy.
So much respect. I mean, to take the kind of beating that guy did and never take a step back, constantly try to press forward, constantly try to win, and with a compromised leg, almost the majority of the fight.
This fight replay is brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
I mean, the leg kicks right from the beginning of the fight. Khalil Roundtree landed so many of those leg kicks. That right leg was beat up after round number 1. It was truly amazing. And then the power. I mean, left straight off of a right hook, drops Anders. And again, another left hook pops him and just shuts him down. Then the right hook drops him again. I mean, I have never watched Khalil Roundtree fight to such a high level. What a performance. He said he would be better tonight, and he absolutely was.
The flights to Thailand just got more expensive. These fighter stats brought to you by Poker Stars. Pound for pound, the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on Poker Stars. Significant strikes, 71-19 for Khalil Roundtree Jr. 32 leg strikes, nearly all of them with conviction, and the 4 knockdowns, all of them coming in that second round for Khalil Roundtree Jr. against Eric Anders tonight. All right, the official decision brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. With the scorecards, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 30-26 for the winner by unanimous decision, Khalil Roundtree Jr.
Khalil, I'm here with Khalil Roundtree Jr. First of all, sir, that was an incredibly professional and impressive performance. I've been following you on social media, and your trips to Thailand obviously paid off. You've never looked better tonight.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It was definitely a crazy journey to get there, but I'm glad to see it paid off. I was very nervous to showcase the skills, but I'm glad they paid off.
Well, you could see it right away. Your stance looked different. Your kicks were lightning fast with no telegraphing. And you were in there with a very dangerous guy in Eric Anders, and you essentially shut him out.
Yeah, so that was that was my game plan, is to use the tools I learned. Shout out Pechindi, Muay Thai, Pechindi, Kai Muay. Yeah, so using the kicks and stuff that I learned, because I realized like it can shut down, you know, strong people. You don't got your legs, you don't got your pressure.
You're all in with Thailand now.
Yeah, man.
Let's take a look at the big screen and enjoy some of this, man, because, you know, you've looked fantastic in the past, but never this good. This is absolutely one of your best performances. You were crisp, accurate, your timing was on point. Were you surprised that he was able to withstand some of those shots? Because there was several times where we thought they were going to stop the fight.
The only thing that I thought was like brutal were when he was on the ground, those leg kicks, because I do those on the bag, and the bag, like, it swings, so I felt that how deep they were going, so yeah, I thought maybe it would stop right there, but I just figured just keep going.
Well, your hard work and your dedication to this has paid off in a huge, huge way. Incredibly impressive performance tonight. Thank you very much, and I can't wait to see you again. Khalil Roundtree Jr., ladies and gentlemen.
There is a new UFC light heavyweight contender, Roundtree Jr., Khalil. Huge win against Eric Anders tonight. Well, the stars are out in Atlanta. Arguably the most exciting fighter in mixed martial arts today, the lightweight contender, Dustin. Greatest living American in the building, former WEC light heavyweight champion, UFC commentator Brian Stan, and the UFC flyweight king Henry Cejudo will try to become a double champ June 8th against Marlon Moraes. All right, these locker room shots brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. Well, Kelvin Gastelum has had a penchant for rising to the occasion throughout his UFC run. He has called tonight's fight the toughest of his career. Well, that's the way it should be as he vies for the interim middleweight title against that man, the last style bender, Israel Adesanya. He was the UFC's undeniable breakout star in 2018, and tonight, in just his 15th month on the roster, he will try to earn a UFC title for City Kickboxing and his entire home nation of New Zealand. Well, a few weeks ago, we learned that Michael Bisping would be taking his rightful place in the UFC Hall of Fame this summer, and we are happy to let you know the Hall will also open its doors to another middleweight legend.
I don't really care about accomplishments as much as I care about being remembered for things like work ethic, the heart that you have in a fight, the passion that I have for this sport, and the sacrifices that I made so that I can pursue something great.
Please welcome, fighting out of Cincinnati, Ohio.
He was a school teacher who left teaching to be a professional fighter.
That's an educated young man, bachelor's degree in mathematics, master's degree in education.
He was a math teacher who could kick any other math teacher's ass on the planet.
He's hurt!
He's out!
He was one of those first guys that looked like a true superhero.
He was a good wrestler, he was good on the ground, and he was sharp on the feet. One of the first guys to have that full, well-rounded game.
Nice. Looking to finish, and it's all over.
Clearly, Rich Franklin was an amazing fighter.
Oh, Rich Franklin's a bomb! Get it stopped!
When Franklin beat Ken Shamrock, that was almost like a passing of the torch.
Evan Tanner has the title, and I want a piece of it.
From the moment he stepped into the octagon, it was straight to the top.
And continuous with the left. It's right the edge, getting Tanner now.
That's a
Rich
big cut.
Franklin is the middleweight champion.
Rich Franklin was the man at 185 pounds at that time. The belt was around his waist.
Oh, he knocks down Lorenzo.
His knockout of Nate Quarry, spectacular, forever highlight, real knockout.
Again, on the big left, it's down goes Quarry. Cold.
Rich Franklin wasn't just a technical fighter who was a very good athlete. He had a certain level of toughness.
What an escape by Franklin. That is a high-level counter right there.
He'd be the guy who would jump up to 205 if he needed to, go back to 185, fight somebody at 195. He would take fights across the globe.
The first ever UFC in Germany, and the main event, tremendous.
In the last 4 years of Rich Franklin's career, he fought in 6 different countries in 7 fights, which is pretty cool.
He was there to do what was best for the sport and go in and put on an entertaining fight, which he always did.
This crowd is standing on its feet.
Rich Franklin's most memorable fight for me was when he fought Chuck Liddell. You know, early in the fight, he gets his arm broken by a kick.
And Rich Franklin stood his ground and ended up knocking Chuck out.
Rich trying to get away. Oh, he's down. Franklin has done it.
I broke my hand before and I didn't quit. It's a broken arm. These fans came here to see a fight.
Rich Franklin has always been one of the best ambassadors in the history of the sport.
People in the old days had a stigma of what they thought an Ultimate Fighter was, and Rich Franklin blew that out of the water.
He was a guy that we could all look at and say, look at the shining example of the people that compete in the sport. They're educated, they're well-spoken, they're gracious in what they do.
For Rich Franklin, the biggest contribution he brought was respect. He was out there to win at all times, but then be the first one after he beat you to go shake your hand, put his arm around you.
He was the type of guy that you want a kid to look up to when they say they want to be a UFC fighter.
The guy who's just all heart. You know, no quitting him and just keep coming.
Always an entertaining fighter. You're an honorable man and a great champion.
He is an absolute pioneer in the developing times of the UFC, and he is absolutely deserving to be in the UFC Hall of Fame.
I wanted to come out here and put on a good performance, and I hope you guys are entertained.
Rich Ace Franklin, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, back live in Atlanta. John Anik, Joe Rogan, Daniel Cormier. July 5 in Vegas. Rich Franklin takes his rightful place in the UFC Hall of Fame.
Yeah, rightful place indeed. I mean, he was a real pioneer, and he was also one of the first guys to be supremely conditioned. I mean, that guy had an unbelievable work ethic, and he was paving a path. He was doing this before people really had that kind of conditioning in this sport. I mean, he would overwhelm guys, and such a polite and respectful person, so educated and eloquent and articulate, just so many good qualities. One of the nicest guys you will ever meet in your life, and a ferocious fighter.
Yeah, he was a fantastic fighter on top of everything else that he did. And this Hall of Fame class is really turning into something else right now. Rich Franklin, Michael Bisping getting in a couple weeks ago, but truly one of the guys that changed the game. And if you rolled Rich Franklin out there for something, everybody respected him and understood who he truly was.
22-1 when he ran into Anderson Silva the first time in 2006. Never lost back-to-back fights in his entire MMA career. So UFC International Fight Week 2019. July 3rd through the 7th in Las Vegas, the Hall of Fame ceremony, part of all of that. Friday night, July 5th, to be followed, of course, by UFC 239 on Saturday, July 6th. Mark your calendars, International Fight Week 2019. We are in Atlanta, Georgia, State Farm Arena tonight for UFC 236, Holloway versus Poirier 2, as we inch closer to our co-headliner between Kelvin Gastelum and Israel Adesanya for the UFC's interim middleweight title. A lot of talent, Joe Rogan, in this 185-pound division. Robert Whittaker remains the hunted, but within the hour, he will have a next opponent.
I mean, what talent. First, Robert Whittaker. I hope he heals up well. Yoel Romero, I have to be honest, I thought he won that last fight with Robert Whittaker, but it's incredibly close. These guys are so close to each other. This is the point. I mean, we're talking about, like, little tiny differences back and forth, and we're yet to see these two men, Kelvin Gastelum and Israel Adesanya fight, which I think is one of the most compelling matchups in the division. Jacare Souza, of course, is looking for another matchup after the Yoel Romero fight fell through. Look, this is a Shark Tank. These are killers.
These are killers. Phenomenal weight class. But I tell you one thing, fight week's fun, getting the fight announcement fun, the bottom agreement right now. These two men, Gastelum and Adesanya, this is when the nerves start to kick in. This is when it starts to become real. You're about to hit the curtain for a UFC title fight. So everything's tight right now. Everything is like really nerve-wracking. Hey, this is about to get real, and I'm excited.
I'm so excited.
I'm a little bit anxious myself, DC, and I'm not fighting. These fighter odds brought to you by Poker Stars, pound for pound, the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on Poker Stars. Kelvin Gastelum, the underdog, at +130. Israel Adesanya at one time during fight week north of -200, -150, the favorite here tonight. So 6 years to the day he won the Ultimate Fighter, Kelvin Gastelum now realizes his first chance to take a championship belt home as he faces striking savant Israel Adesanya. So it goes in the fight game. Our main event tonight was to be the UFC Middleweight Championship, but Whittaker and Gastelum are off the card, and that means Israel Adesanya and the Spider Anderson Silva move up and will headline UFC 234. What a striking match turned in by Israel Adesanya. A lot of people believe at some point Adesanya will have that middleweight belt. Kelvin Gastelum with a belt over his shoulder.
Hey, Rob, heal up quick. Kelvin, put that belt down. Seriously, what you gonna do?
Israel Adesanya is going to be fighting Kelvin Gastelum for the UFC interim middleweight title.
We had a deal, and we shook on it. After Anderson Silva, I get a belt in my next fight, and I'm going to do that. After Silva, I didn't care what Kelvin was doing, what Robert was doing. All I knew was I'm fighting for a belt in my next fight, and here we are. Kelvin, he's game, but no one's ever fought anyone like me.
That's the last style bender, folks. This kid is for real.
Israel, he's very technical, very skilled, obviously. You know, he's fought some very tough competition already, but I just don't think he was pushed to his limit. I don't think he was put in dangerous situations where he's uncomfortable, and I can do those kinds of things.
Kelvin Gastelum!
He is an animal inside the octagon.
I'm already better than the version of me that fought Silva. I could even go back to my first fight. That Israel could beat Kelvin Gastelum. He shouldn't be able to touch me. I'm a matador, man. He can be the bull, I can be the matador.
Have you seen the bull when he catches the matador? It's not nice.
Oh! 1-2 from Gastelum. Bisping is out!
Kelvin, he's a strong kid, but I'm not scared. I wouldn't give a I've seen myself winning against Kelvin 100 times. Before my UFC debut, before I even stepped in the octagon, I was saying I'm going to become the UFC middleweight world champion, and I plan on doing that.
Israel can say a million things, man. At the end of the day, we're going to be locked in the cage together, and we're not going to be talking. We're going to be exchanging fists. UFC 236, I'm going to put the stop to the hype train that is Israel.
I'm the best in the world. Come find out.
To be the total package. Enter Israel Adesanya, a few months shy of his 30th birthday. He realizes his first UFC title shot here tonight, Joe, and I know you've got a lot of superlatives to throw his way when it comes to the striking, the cardio, and everything else.
I'm a big fan of this man, and I've been a fan of him long before he fought in the UFC. I reached out to him many years ago and asked him when he thought he'd be there. He said, when I'm ready. He goes, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to make sure I get all my takedown defense and grappling on point. And he has done just that. He is a spectacular striker. So incredibly technical and creative and diverse and intelligent. His striking IQ is off the charts. He knows what to do and when to do it. He picks openings and he aims and fires. He doesn't just spray.
Right. Tonight's Prep Point is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less.
I'm sorry, champ. Adesanya said he slid in Dana's DMs in 2015 and said, hey, I don't know you, you don't know me, but I will be your middleweight champion at some point. But it's the confidence. Look at the confidence. He knows how to have the crowd in his hands. He's dancing. He's comfortable. He doesn't let these moments get to him. He said the only time he's got to beat out of his hands.
Yeah.
He said the only time he ever felt a little bit overwhelmed was at the third round of the Anderson Silva fight. Said, wow, it's Anderson. And he said Anderson's better than Kelvin, so he expects to get his belt tonight.
Well, as he says, I keep upgrading the hardware and the software. He doesn't get tired in there. We are scheduled, of course, for 5 5-minute rounds tonight. It all comes down to this for the last style bender. Well, it's been a long wait for Kelvin Gastelum. We set up the narrative with the fight against Robert Whittaker that went away. He is ready to go. Eyes fixed 6 on Israel Adesanya, and this is the bull, Joe. When he hits you more often than not, you go down.
He is the bull, and he has a way of making great fighters look not so good. He knows how to stifle you. He knows how to close in on you, grapple you, take you down, wear you out. And this is the style that we have not seen Israel Adesanya face. We haven't seen him face the kind of grappling and pressure and experience inside the octagon that Kelvin Gastelum possesses.
It's a different type of takedown that he's going to see. Normally, guys are just shooting at Israel, trying to take him down. But Gastelum has the ability to go and grab him, grind on him, grab a single, take him down, let him up, ride him. Gastelum feels that he's just a better fighter. Feels like he's been in there with the better fighters, and his experience will carry him. And at 185, when Kelvin Gastelum lands, people go to sleep.
He's had this hashtag on a mission for gold for the better part of 5 years, inspired by the great Jordan Burroughs, all I see is gold. But this man has great pocket presence, tremendous cardio, and again, it's not quantifiable necessarily, Joe, but he's a big game player. In most big spots, he has risen to the occasion, and in terms of the strength of schedule, that is a huge advantage for him, at least on paper.
And he's only 27 years old. You have to remember that. This man has been in the UFC for 6 years, and he's still learning and growing, and he hasn't even reached his athletic prime yet.
Right. Salient point that 6-year anniversary tonight of Kelvin Gastelum's UFC debut. Tonight's Tale of the Tape is brought to you by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Kelvin Gastelum, 5'9". Israel Adesanya is 6'4". The reach advantage, if my math is right, 8.5 inches for the last style bender, Israel Adesanya. All right, now for the official introductions for the co-headliner, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this UFC championship bout is sanctioned by the Georgia Athletic Commission. Our 3 judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Mike Bell, Anthony Maness, and Ken Coffey. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Mark Goddard. And now, this fight is 5 rounds for the interim UFC middleweight championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a freestyle fighter holding an undefeated professional record, 16 wins, no losses. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 183 pounds. Fighting out of Auckland, New Zealand, by way of Lagos, Nigeria, presenting the number 5 ranked middleweight contender in the world, Israel, the last style bender, Adesanya! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 16 wins, 3 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 184 pounds. Fighting out of Yuma, Arizona, by way of Huntington Beach, California, presenting the Ultimate Fighter Season 17 winner and the number 4 ranked UFC middleweight contender in the world, Kelvin Gastelum! And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Mark Goddard.
Israel, Kelvin, you know exactly what I expect. I need you to fight hard, fight clean. When I say stop, please stop. If you want to touch gloves, now's the time. God bless.
Oh, man, here we go. Kelvin Gastelum. And Israel Adesanya, both fighting for a piece of UFC gold for the first time in their respective careers. Don't get a whole lot bigger or better than this.
Here we go.
Here we go is right. Tonight's fight clock is brought to you by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
With the difference in height, Gastelum is going to have to go through some stuff to close the distance on Israel. Right here in this range, though, is not safe for him.
Told us he's got to overwhelm him. Certainly, to your point, DC can't stay at distance.
It's interesting because Israel fights differently as a mixed martial arts fighter than he did as a kickboxer in terms of his stance selection, and he almost fights like he's in a karate movie sometimes. He does things differently, but he's constantly learning and adding to his arsenal. And one of the more interesting things he said, I'm a better version of me than I was when I fought Anderson Silva. And that was just a few months ago.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you see guys fighting like that now. Henry Cejudo, since he's become so successful, is in that type of stance.
Hard kick to the body by the last style bender. Elusive, avoids the shots by Gastelum.
That left hook landed a little bit by Gastelum there. As he looped, Kelvin is throwing that right hand, and the left hook is coming behind it because he knows Israel's going to dip off to that side, I guess.
Both guys just so cool and collected.
So good under pressure.
Yeah. Gastelum whiffs on the right hand, able to land to the body.
They both look so relaxed in here.
If you've never been to a UFC live event, there is an indescribable tension when there is a belt on the line.
Yes.
Both fighters with 5-round experience. Adesanya had an epic performance in the main event against Brad Tavares. Gastelum, the main event at altitude against Neil Magny in Mexico. Oh, big right for Gastelum. And Adesanya retreats.
That's that left hook that Gastelum's throwing off with that right hand. He must have seen it in the video. Adesanya's dipping on that side.
He has some serious power in that left hand. Oh, and he goes to the body, too.
And that's as much adversity that we've seen Adesanya have to this point in his career.
Certainly in a striking realm.
Yeah, he's been taking some big, deep breaths. His mouth's open a little bit. He got stung.
Gastelum is throwing some heat.
He's throwing heat.
Gastelum is throwing some heat.
And he blocked that left high kick. That left hand just grazed the chin, that last one he threw.
Under 2 minutes here to go in round one.
We have to remember that Kelvin Gastelum is trained by one of the best striking coaches in the world, in Rafael Cordero.
Yes.
And Rafael has formulated a plan to deal with the style and reach of Adesanya.
Gastelum almost squares up when he starts to enter. Watch, he starts to square and move his head. Throws that right hand as a feeder, really trying to land the left. Adesanya's not committing to any of his techniques right now.
Woo! Kelvin, that left hand is a bomb.
Adesanya continues to move that head an inch out of harm's way. 1 minute to go, round one.
Well, what we've learned is that Kelvin Gastelum is very capable of knocking Adesanya out.
Right.
He connected with some serious bombs, and Adesanya knows that now too. He also knows that Kelvin has drawn first blood.
Right. And by and large, Adesanya's trying to touch you. Gastelum's trying to kill you with everything he throws. Gastelum with some feints here on the feet.
And this has all been striking. We have to remember that if there's an advantage that we expected from Kelvin, it would be in his grappling.
Yes.
We haven't seen any of that yet.
Israel's just out here making reads, though. You see he's kind of starting to get a little bit closer on some of his shots now, and he's committing to him again.
And Kelvin touched him with that right hand, though. He touched him with a lead right hook. The hand speed of Kelvin Gastelum is not to be underestimated.
No, he's very fast. Right here, look at this. Boom, right hand. Left hook follows. Drops Adesanya.
I mean, that's a knockdown.
I mean, that's a knockdown. He caught him right on the chin. He caught him on the edge of it. Imagine if that thing lands clean. Gastelum possesses some crazy power.
And he has a giant head. That guy can take a tremendous punch.
Throw your lead jab more, yeah? So with your lead jab, it's all coming from the right side. So he's worried about the right side, but now we've got to whip the left, yeah? And then bury the target.
Take a couple on there.
you're okay, Chef. We'll just get your lines right. Right. And really, the tugger was a kick. You did one body kick in that round. Yeah. Yeah? Okay. Yeah. Be careful about ducking the head. So that is ducking the head a little bit. So, might go for me. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, do some pullbacks and don't duck up under all the time. Okay. But very the tugger.
The unauthorized reproduction or distribution of this copyright work is illegal and punishable under law. UFC 236, Holloway vs Poirier 2. Kelvin Gastelum with a knockdown in round 1. His knockdown ratio as a UFC middleweight now 7-0. And that first round knockdown of Israel Adesanya, the 6th consecutive opponent that Kelvin Gastelum has knocked down.
Good kick to the body by Israel.
His coaches call for that. They say you only threw one body kick. We want more.
There's another.
Quick left hand from Adesanya. He talked a lot about working the body of Gastelum, which he described as soft. Lands a right kick there.
That one landed.
That was clean. Kelvin with a whipping left hand to the body.
Gastelum has a big gas tank too. As big as that head is, he's got a big gas tank, man.
He does, especially at 85, when he's not compromising his body to make the weight.
Lands the left hand there over the top. He's been in a lot of UFC main events. You mentioned Magny, Weidman, Bisping.
Nice jab by Kelvin.
And while Gastelum did acknowledge this as the toughest fight of his career, when you've been in there with the likes of Tim Kennedy, Chris Weidman, Jacare Souza,
he's fought the best, man.
Not going to be intimidated.
And again, at only 27 years of age, and the mixed martial arts experience difference is really off the charts.
That head kick partially blocked.
Beautiful jab.
Adesanya's starting to get off a little bit more now, but Gastelum lands that big right jab. And don't think that's a normal jab. That's a power jab. The intent on that one is to hurt you.
Adesanya touched Gastelum there with the left hand.
Woo!
Adesanya, born in Nigeria, trying to bring New Zealand a UFC championship.
Pressure by Kelvin.
It's almost like Israel can't engage him because Kelvin's so powerful.
Yeah.
He has to evade, stay at space.
And Kelvin is making reads of Israel's head movement. And he's forcing Israel to move, and he's not throwing the punches, and he's looking to read. Ooh.
So some adversity now for Kelvin Gastelum. 2 minutes to go, round 2.
Big right hand by Adesanya, perfectly placed.
Big reset from Gastelum.
Inside leg kick. Adesanya finding that range now.
Right before Gastelum got hit, he stumbled on a misstep. So it put him out of position, and Israel landed. Watch this. He stumbles out of position, Israel landed. You cannot make a mistake with a striker that's as sharp as Israel Adesanya. There's no room for error.
Gastelum getting a little bit sloppy here. 90 seconds to go in the round.
Oh, beautiful.
Adesanya's getting going now.
Ooh.
You can't be reckless. If you're Gastelum, you can't be reckless. Adesanya will snipe you.
Yeah, he can't get careless, and he can't overcommit. Oh, beautiful. He stung him.
That lead right hand is nasty.
It's so nasty, and it's not telegraphed at all, and it's coming from low. It's hard to read.
No wind up, nothing.
Oh! Back
And look at him, instead of taking a step, he's still trying to go forward.
He's such a
gonna get himself
warrior.
knocked out. You gotta take a moment. He's gonna get knocked out if he doesn't take a break. That was a beautiful elbow by Adesanya.
But that's the thing about his arsenal. It's so deep. He can do so many things. Question mark kick, just barely blocked. And he lands a left hand.
Adesanya appeared to eat that pretty well.
Look at this, there's the grappling.
Good takedown defense by Israel.
Down defense. Oh, and he tagged him.
But if I'm Gastelum, I'm still shooting. I'm just making him defend takedown after takedown. Try to wear on it.
Wow.
Wow, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at some of this. And here's a body kick early on in the fight. Left hand to the body by Kelvin. There's a beautiful jab by Kelvin. Look how it snaps the head back of Adesanya. And there's that spinning back elbow. I'd like to see the right hand that dropped him. We didn't see that in the replay.
I want you punching and come back and breathe and come back. I don't want you to stop in front of him. Don't stop in front of him. Touch him, come back, breathe and come back. You get it?
You're going to have to bounce and be more active for 15 minutes, okay?
Ele só te acerta. He just touch you because you stop. If you don't stop, he can touch you.
It's not going to be easy to be a champ. You got to bounce.
Stop.
Here's the shot that dropped him. Bink, right on the chin.
Yep.
Round 3 is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC.
Shout out to Rotten Black for the use of the word bink. Here we go. Things are getting interesting, folks.
We'll see how Kelvin Gastelum responds here. He takes the center of the octagon. He is in green. Israel Adesanya is in black.
Third round and both of them been down.
Woo. Adesanya starting to find his groove now. And
now you see Kelvin with a different style, that up on the feet, light on his feet style. We've seen that many times in the past from him before. And I believe he fights better when he fights like that.
What he can't do is just stay on the edge, letting Adesanya dictate. Early in the fight, he was the one dictating the engagements. Second round, Israel dictated everything. And he had all that success because of it.
Well, in DC, you can speak to being on the wrong end of a reach situation.
Yeah.
When you're giving up 8.5 inches, you got to be precise.
You got to just get close, man.
And Kelvin keeps his hands way low.
He's got great vision. When Israel throws that right hand, he's moving out just a little bit of the way. But it's when it lands, when he mistimes it a little bit, is when he's getting really stung.
Yeah, both guys are keeping their hands very low in this fight.
A lot of feints here from Gastelum. He eats the body kick from Adesanya. All these subtle shifts in footwork.
Just like Joe said, he's got an encyclopedia of knowledge in terms of striking. And right now, he's got Kelvin just guessing.
And Kelvin's got to be careful as he engages like that. That spinning elbow is there for him. Oh, beautiful stab. Kelvin, oh, high kick.
Wow. Tremendous exchange on both sides. Under 3 minutes here, round 3.
Gastelum's doing what Coach Cordero said. He said, don't stop in front of him. He's touching you because you're stopping, Kelvin. Don't stop in front of him.
Head strike numbers, slight advantage for the last style bender, 21-19. Adds to that total there.
Oh! Nice knee to the body there by Adesanya.
That was a nice right hand. I mean, those right hands are landing so clean for Israel.
Yeah, they're just so crisp. The timing. Look at that.
You cannot, against a good striker like that, you can't be looping punches. You got to be down the middle, just like him. Gastelum's looping too much. Look at that. Now he's out of position, and Adesanya's countering.
Yeah, he's having a hard time with his reach.
Gastelum down to 29% in terms of these strikes landed. Good head movement from Gastelum, and then lands a shot of his own.
When he is able to evade and he's in position to counter, he's got to just let everything go, like right here.
Good
this
entry.
Is big. That's big.
He gets the takedown, beautiful.
Oh, but he did a good job of keeping Adesanya from getting to the fence with his back. Oh, nice push off by Israel.
And that is big for Israel Adesanya. Gastelum unable to do much with that takedown. Whew. The upper body defensive movement from Adesanya, just narrowly evading these shots from Gastelum.
And hands so low too, John. It's so dangerous because you're 1 inch away from getting slept, but he's so comfortable and confident in there. And Gastelum's doing the same thing.
Kelvin's punches seem more labored and slower towards the end of this round.
That was the first takedown landed for Gastelum since November 2015 against Neil Magny. Hasn't needed to lean on the offensive wrestling.
But Gastelum's doing okay in this round. It's not a wipe. He's not getting washed out. This is a good round of fighting. Very close.
Championship rounds beckon.
Beautiful, beautiful round. Beautiful round.
You gotta wipe him down, bro.
Where's the thing?
Listen, everything you looked at, yeah? There's water in your hand? Yeah. Thank you.
Run back. Look at my shorts.
I want more punches.
Hey, man, you championship rounds. You could be down 2-1, you could be up 2-1. You gotta win these last 2 rounds. Tá bom, você tem que dar, tá bom. Você tem que dar, tá bem bom.
Takedowns are good. You gotta keep on trying to take him down.
Tudo bem? Não respeite ele.
Don't respect
Fica como em cima e não respeite.
Keep your hands up and don't respect him. Knock him out. Let's go.
Movimentação.
Let's move.
Coach, I need you to dry him off, and they got water on the floor, too. Dry him off on the front and back.
Down to the final 10 minutes, Israel Adesanya and Kelvin Gastelum. One man becomes the UFC interim middleweight champion and sets up a date later in 2019 with the undisputed king of the 85ers, the Reaper, Robert Whittaker. Round 4 is upon us. Rafael Cordero looking for more volume out of his pupil, Kelvin Gastelum.
Kelvin picking up the pace.
He has to. That slow pace where they're just trading technique for technique is too slow. Israel will always win that. He's got to just make it ugly, make it dirty. And then he can get in tight to go attack some takedowns. This is the type of fight he needs to make it.
Adesanya's takedown defense near 90%. It's held up tonight.
Oh, beautiful knee to the body.
Keep it closed, Israel. Keep it closed. Both of you.
Significant strikes landed. 56 Adesanya, 35 for Gastelum. Oh! Woo! Gastelum didn't even flinch.
He ducked his head into that one. He got hit on the top of the head instead of the chin.
Nice jab by Gastelum. Some swelling around that left eye for Adesanya. Just rolls with the punches to prevent unnecessary damage. Caught Gastelum there on the way in.
Kelvin just keeps coming up short. Great movement by Adesanya. Kelvin's in on him in the clinch.
He has certainly been the busier offensive fighter here through 2.5 minutes in round 4.
Gastelum fighting with a lot of pressure right now.
Good inside low kick by Gastelum.
A lot of forward pressure in round 4.
Looks like Adesanya's now cut, I believe.
I believe so, at the right eye.
Yeah.
That forward pressure is going to be very important for Gastelum in these last couple rounds.
He's catching him on the end of these, but he is touching him.
He's
oh. And he caught him there.
Nice straight right from Adesanya. Wow, what a fight.
What a fight. Both landing, too. Gastelum has landed a lot of jabs. Adesanya's landed some really good right hands. This is a great fight. Nice inside leg kick by Israel.
Gastelum partially lands that left hand. You see he's advanced 37% of the time in this 4th round.
Yeah, he does better inside the exchanges because when he's on the outside, his attack is just a little bit too predictable. It's a looping right hand to set it up and then a left hand.
Oh, nice switch, yes. Nice jab by Izzy.
See, in these wild exchanges, that's when Kelvin's at his best.
Yes, he's doing well there.
Oh, he goes high. Look at that.
Oh.
That one got Adesanya's attention.
He hurt him.
He's in trouble. Gastelum.
He is in trouble.
Oh, man, he's hurt. Gastelum needs to pour it on.
Instead, he chooses to change levels.
He had him hurt.
I think he still got him hurt.
Now Adesanya throws some offense.
Oh!
Under 30 seconds here, round 4. Adesanya really starting to wear it, swelling in the lips under both eyes.
Oh, he tried to look down and kick high with that question mark kick. Oh, caught him again. Israel may be getting tired.
If Adesanya won the 1st round, I feel like this may be Gastelum's round. It could be 2-2 going into the 5th.
20 minutes down.
Wow.
Gastelum raises his hands.
That is the most hurt we've ever seen Israel Adesanya for sure in a fight. The most adversity he's ever felt.
He's been hurt twice this fight.
Yes.
It's the power of Kelvin Gastelum.
But really hurt in that round.
Yes, he's hurt bad. Right here, you see Kelvin Gastelum pursuing the jab, that little hook. Straight left, barely misses, but he's touching Israel. Right here again, look at the style bender. Boom, right hand down the middle. Then again, barely missing. Gastelum, just look at this exchange by these two men. Head kick coming, boom, lands right on the side of the neck. Adesanya's hurt very badly.
That is crazy.
Gastelum's pursuing, straight left down the pipe. I mean, what a round of fighting. Gastelum fired up, feeling good heading into round 5. We may be 2-2, boys.
Wow, it all comes down to this. The final 5 minutes to determine the UFC's interim middleweight champion. Both guys known for having tremendous cardio and both ready to go here to try to secure a UFC title.
Coach Cordero was so animated in between rounds, telling him, now go get this belt, champ. Israel's going to have to stop him from pressuring him early in this round. He's got to take the momentum back from Kelvin Gastelum.
The addition of the kicks, particularly that high kick, was a real shocker for Kelvin. I mean, he's been throwing those low kicks, but landed on the neck of Israel Adesanya. With that being a changing moment in this fight.
Nice handiwork there from Adesanya. But huge volume from Gastelum in round 4.
Oh, nice front kick to the face by Israel. Oh, left hand landed.
Kelvin Gastelum takes a punch as good as any man that ever lived.
Because he rolls it a little bit, right? It barely hits him. It doesn't hit him clean. Both of them. They don't land clean on each other. These guys have tremendous head movement. Everything's skimming them instead of landing straight on.
Huge right for Adesanya.
Adesanya with a guillotine.
Gastelum spins out of it.
Oh, reverse the position. He's on top. This is good for Kelvin.
Adesanya looking to try to set up a triangle. Very slippery.
He's got to use it to sweep.
It's not quite on, folks. It's not quite on.
Gastelum's out. Wow. Back to the feet. Wow. Woo. Just over 3 minutes now to go.
Wow, what a fight.
Get the bonus checks ready.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Adesanya is showing championship hard right now. Both of these gentlemen are putting it on the line.
Oh, man.
This is crazy.
This is crazy.
But Israel's been more active this round. He's done exactly what he needed to do. Took the momentum back now. Now the earnest is on Gastelum to try to build back in this last 2.5 minutes.
Beautiful right. Oh, he hurt him. He stunned him.
Gastelum's hurt.
He snapped his neck back with that one.
So a huge response from the Kiwi here in this 5th and final round.
He can't miss with that right hand.
Kelvin's in real trouble. He's in real trouble. He keeps getting stung with that right hand.
Yep.
And now Stylebender's got his number.
Gastelum chasing.
Kelvin pressures him.
Well, this is how you want to go about winning a UFC title. This is going to be hugely satisfying for whoever has their hand raised if we get there. Under 90 seconds now to go.
Oh! Adesanya has really fought well in his 5th round.
Yeah, he's risen to the occasion.
Yep. Kelvin's a step behind right now in round 5.
Oh, my goodness.
Huge right. Knockout for Adesanya now.
He's fighting as he was earlier. He stood on the edge, and Adesanya started to piece him up.
How about the hearts beating inside these two gentlemen?
Incredible. Big elbows there by Adesanya.
Big round by Israel Adesanya. When you're chasing the championship, and it's round 5, this is how you got to fight.
We have had some epic middleweight title fights, and another one here. Oh!
Kelvin's in trouble. He's in real trouble.
We might get a stoppage here. Big elbow from Adesanya.
Oh, man, what a performance by Adesanya. What a performance by Gastelum. Gastelum's exhausted. He's very hurt. He's barely there anymore.
Oh, my God, the spray of blood. Oh, they can stop this fight.
Final 10 seconds.
That's it.
Gastelum goes down.
Stop it.
Kelvin's still fighting. Israel's trying to finish. What a...
Wow. Wow.
One of the greatest title fights you will see as Israel Adesanya and Kelvin Gastelum go the 25-minute distance.
Just incredible. The heart of Kelvin Gastelum the will to keep going. I mean, he's exhausted and battered. And then Israel Adesanya rising to the occasion in the 5th and final round, putting it together. What a fight. My goodness.
When you're going into the 5th round of a tied fight, maybe a 10-8 to finish. I mean, what a way to finish a fight and try to go earn a championship.
For sure a 10-8. In this, with the new rules, for sure that's a 10-8.
You don't even have to largely dominate the round under the new scoring. Let's get to the fight replay brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
My goodness, here we go, 5th round. Boom! Right hand. Adesanya's accuracy and precision. And how about this? They go to the ground. Adesanya throws up a triangle. Almost cinches it. If it wasn't so sweaty and slippery, and if Kelvin didn't have such good defense. Bing! Look at that left hand. Bing! Over the top. I mean, this could be a 10-7 round, folks. This could be the clincher, and this could be what wins Adesanya the title. His ability to stay accurate and technical in the 5th and final round. And what heart by Kelvin Gastelum.
Amazing.
Just incredible.
So much respect for these athletes tonight as they give us one for the ages. The official decision is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. With the official decision, here now is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for the decision. All 3 judges score this contest 48-46 for the winner by unanimous decision and new interim UFC middleweight champion of the world, Israel, the last style bender, Adesanya.
Ladies and gentlemen, the last style bender and the new interim UFC middleweight champion of the world. How does it feel and how does it look?
Well, I always envisioned these things, but I was ready for war. I told y'all, I wanted to take him out, but I was ready for war because he's Mexicano. Hold on there, give it up for Kelvin, let's go. Well, fuck, people, they talk shit, man. Has he been tested? He ain't ready for this. I started this fight with adversity, and like a champion, like you say, be the hero in your own story. By the end of my documentary, this bit's gonna be lit. Fuck. First of all, I'm the man, but I gotta say, there's someone who's more of a man than me. Huge, come here, step up. I've planned this for so long. I wanna say, without him, my career wouldn't be where it is. Yo.
Congratulations to both of you. You can stand.
I hope this makes up for all the times I've been late.
Israel, this was a very close fight. It was very much a back and forth fight, but you rose to the occasion in that 5th round. What was going on in your mind before the 5th round started? Where did you feel you were in the scorecards, and what were you thinking?
I don't think about scorecards. All I need is 1 round. I kept on saying in my native tongue of Yoruba, Ayabiekun, because I got a tattoo of Nigeria with a lion inside of my chest, and that's heart of a lion. Ayabiekun, Ayabiekun. I was willing to die. We've lost teammates to this game. They're not with us anymore. Wilman, VDK, honestly, but I knew I was willing to give it all and leave it all in there. And I said, let's go. But like I said, he's a Mexican warrior, but hey, I got that Mexicano with me too.
Let's take a look at the 5th and final round. Israel, some beautiful handiwork. You dropped him over and over again. His heart was incredible because you had him battered, and we even thought the fight was going to be stopped within the last couple of seconds.
I thought so too. That would have been a cool ending, but I wasn't able to secure the position like I wanted to, and he kept on moving around. He was slippery. But you know, like I said, I got vehicle. I'm the champion. Let's go.
You were one of the most exciting contenders. Now you are one of the most exciting champions. It was an honor to call your fight, sir, and I can't wait to see you fight for the undisputed title.
Hey, ATL, thank you for having me. It's been cool. It's been lit. Put it down for the A.
The last style bender, ladies and gentlemen.
So Nigeria has now produced 2 UFC champions, as you see Kamaru Usman there. But New Zealand is on the map. The Kiwis are celebrating, you can be sure. And for Eugene Behrman, for City Kickboxing, for Israel Adesanya, of course, Robert Whittaker waits in the wings, but tonight belongs to the last style bender.
You think that you could never fight a person that's as tough as Kelvin Gastelum after you watch it tonight. But after watching the beating Robert Whittaker took from Yoel Romero, he's in for another one of these fights. It does not get easier for the last stylebender, but congratulations to Israel Adesanya on accomplishing a goal he set so many years ago.
Well, the biggest fight in Australian/New Zealand mixed martial arts history awaits us. It'll be Adesanya and Whittaker later in 2019.
I can't believe there's another fight. We have another fight?
Yeah, that one might get Joe Rogan to the land down under, actually.
Oh,
these main event locker room shots are brought to you by P3.
I might have to fly to Australia for that
The
fight.
official protein stack of UFC. Max Holloway brings with him a pace of pressure and a style that no featherweight's been able to handle for more than 5.5 years. Tonight, he will look to bolster his legacy and then some by joining the elite group of 2-division UFC champions. Of course, in his way, the equally hungry lightweight contender, the first-time title challenger, Dustin Poirier. He's also got 16 UFC wins to his credit. He believes he has a power advantage in this matchup that could be the deciding factor here tonight. The main event is coming up now. This, though, from soon-to-be UFC Hall of Famer, Michael Bisping.
Before you watch the lightweight main event bout, Holloway vs Poirier 2, here's an exclusive look at Warrior, based on the writings of Bruce Lee, airing Fridays only on Cinemax.
There are 25,000 Chinese living in this city, and more coming every day.
This city's a powder keg. You do what you have to survive.
Someone has to start fighting back.
Let's go.
Warrior, new series Fridays at 10/9 Central, only on Cinemax.
Rose Namajunas taking it to Jędrzejczyk. One of the best strikers pound for pound in the entire sport. And everybody was terrified of her. But Rose is the better fighter. And we found out tonight for sure.
So who else is there?
I think Jessica Andrade is the biggest threat. She's mean. I mean, look at what she does to people.
Oh! Jessica Andrade! You gotta be kidding me. Rose Namajunas with a lot to think about.
And I'd like to see Rose tested against a contender of that caliber.
I'd love to have the chance at her.
Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Namajunas, title defense.
The champ, Rose Namajunas, goes into enemy territory. They're going to be chanting at Rose, and she will have to take on the hostile crowd down in Rio.
I wanted to fight in Brazil. Fighting's not about being comfortable. It's about the best fighter.
The best of the best in women's MMA now. She's a monster and a real nightmare for anybody.
Two of the most exciting female fighters in the sport.
Fire away.
Oh, man, this is going to be a phenomenal fight. Since Jessica Andrade has come down to this weight divisional, look at the intensity and the ability to go forward and fight at a high pace that she carries. Almost 7 strikes a minute. But Rose Namajunas is just phenomenal in every sense of the word. To stand for 25 minutes and beat Joanna Jędrzejczyk was even more impressive to me than knocking her out in one punch the first round. This fight is going to be truly, truly an example of the highest level of mixed martial arts fighting.
Daniel Cormier, get that Brazilian visa ready. Because Rio de Janeiro takes center stage next month. Of course, tonight we are in Atlanta, Georgia for UFC 236. It has already been a night to remember, and of course, the best is yet to come. And to that end, now live from the State Farm Arena here in the ATL, it is time for the main event for UFC 236, Holloway versus Poirier 2. Tonight's Crowd Shots brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. Well, back in 2012, Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway, they were young guns trying to make a name for themselves. Tonight, they are two of the best fighters on the planet, and one of them will leave the state of Georgia with the interim lightweight championship.
Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway 2
in Atlanta on April 13th for the lightweight interim title. They fought back in 2012.
Poirier submitted Holloway with a triangle armbar.
That arm that I was talking about earlier, yep, he's got it, that's it. This is trouble. Nicely done by Poirier. He's gonna break his arm.
It is all over.
That's brilliant.
Dustin the Diamond Poirier.
Brilliant job by Poirier. And he hands the young Max Holloway his first loss, but I'll tell you what, Max looks very promising. I'm sure he's gonna be back.
I can't wait, this opportunity, it excites me. It's a new me, a new him, and it's gonna be a great one.
I've never had the easy road for anything in my life. Fighting my way to the title, I did it the old-fashioned way. I didn't do a funny interview. I didn't say something cool and people get behind me. Did it punch by punch against the best guys in the world.
Let's look at my track record. Eddie Alvarez, former champ.
And the pressure from Poirier continues.
Anthony Pettis, former champ. They're brawn. This is what Poirier wants. Justin Gaethje, former champ.
Poirier continues to land. Dustin Poirier.
And here I have a chance to be the best in the world.
I'm expecting a war, and if it's a war he wants, it's a war he's gonna get. Come see me in the middle of the octagon, I'll be right there. Let's do it. Let's see who's the first guy to step back.
Is there anyone else? Step forward. Let's go!
Holloway looking to finish it. It is all over.
Wow.
Max Holloway.
A lot has changed since then, which raises some questions.
Can Holloway handle Poirier's constant pressure?
Oh! And Holloway all over him.
Can Poirier rise to the occasion?
Poirier's pressure. This kid gets stronger as the fight goes on.
Will his past loss play games with him mentally?
The question is, can Holloway?
Holloway.
He's definitely facing his toughest fight in a long time. I know for a fact I have what it takes to beat him for a second time. And I will.
You think you're the best in the world? Prove. Cool. I will fight you. And I will prove to you why I'm the best in the world.
Best in the world. Best in the world. Who better than you? You gotta show 'em, baby. Who better than you? Good time. Good night. Let's go, baby. Double collection time. Double collection time. Let's go, buddy. Let's go, Dad.
Sixth overall UFC main event and fourth in a row for Dustin the Diamond Poirier. And to say he is richly deserving of this first championship opportunity is probably not strong enough. And with respect to present company, we might be looking at the king of Lafayette, Louisiana.
I tell you one thing, he wins his belt, and he's definitely the king of Lafayette, Louisiana. Man, every time I call Dustin's fights, I cannot honor him enough with my words. But as he said, he has fought for everything he's ever gotten in his entire life. Nothing's been handed to this young man. And he gives it back to the community that he was raised in. But he said his biggest task tonight is to interrupt the rhythm, interrupt the swag of Max Holloway. And if he can do that, he feels that he can secure this win, secure the bag, head back to Lafayette, and build a brand new playground at Prairie Elementary School.
Tonight's Prep Point brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. 22 UFC starts for Poirier, and Joe finally a championship opportunity tonight.
And what we've seen is the culmination of all of his hard work and experience in his last few fights, stopping Anthony Pettis, stopping Justin Gaethje, stopping Eddie Alvarez. I mean, that is a who's who. Those are three of the best fighters in the world. The Anthony Pettis fight was by an injury, but still, he was winning that fight. This is a phenomenal knockout artist, a guy with tremendous cardio, fantastic work ethic. He's earned his spot here, and he is the first man to ever hand Max Holloway a loss. That will give him some confidence. We know this is a different Holloway. We also know this is a different Poirier, and this is a fantastic matchup.
Since Dustin Poirier lost to Conor McGregor at UFC 178 in 2014, he has lost just 1 of 10 fights spanning half a decade. He can leave with UFC gold tonight. We now await Max Blessed Holloway. Swagger and skill. Here is the future UFC Hall of Famer Max Blessed Holloway. 13 consecutive wins is unheard of. Tonight, Joe, he'll try to leave Atlanta a 2-division UFC champion.
There's something special about this guy, and it's his confidence, it's his timing, it's his endurance, it's his championship IQ. It's so many different factors. When we saw him fight Jose Aldo, and he came back after the first round and says, the man is tired. What that is his ability to put a pace on guys. It's so hard to understand when you're not seeing it live. It's so hard to quantify because he does not let you take breaks. The breaks you might think you take in training, the breaks you might be able to take in other fights. Max Holloway doesn't give you those breaks. He stays on you. His cardio is off the charts. His confidence is off the charts. And he has a warrior's mindset. And this man is here for one reason. He's here to leave a legacy as the greatest fighter of all time.
Yeah, man, Max Holloway has that thing, right? And it feels like the roof is about to explode off of the Max Holloway train.
Yeah.
Because everybody's kind of getting on. Look at the pop he got when he hit the curtain. Yeah. Look at the amount of people that are in the arena right now. And they're here to watch Max Holloway. Max Holloway is one of those rare talents that has ideas and goals much bigger than most athletes. And to this point, he has accomplished just about every single one of them. Tonight, if he wins, he joins the elite list of 2-division champions. It's very, very difficult to do. Max has a chance to do that.
His last featherweight title defense against the previously undefeated Brian Ortega in December. All he did was go out and set the single UFC record for significant strikes landed. As he put it, I think I got my point across. Tonight's main event, Tale of the Tape, is brought to you by Modelo Brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Max Holloway, 27 years old. Dustin Poirier is 30. Holloway is 2 inches taller, but Dustin Poirier will have a 3-inch reach advantage. All right, now to get us the introductions for this championship main event, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Sanctioned by the Georgia Athletic Commission, Executive Director Matt Woodruff. Our 3 judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Sally Amato, Mike Bell, and Derek Cleary. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Blake Rice. This championship bout is sponsored by Never Off, bold character since 1872. P3, the official protein snack of the UFC. and catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. And now, for those in attendance and UFC fans watching around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from the sold-out State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. It's time! 5 rounds for the interim UFC Lightweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a Jiu-Jitsu fighter holding a professional record, 24 wins, 5 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 154 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, by way of Lafayette, Louisiana, presenting the number 3 ranked lightweight contender in the world, Dustin the Diamond Poirier! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 20 wins, 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. Fighting out of Waianae, Hawaii, presenting the reigning, undisputed UFC featherweight champion, the pride of Hawaii, Max Bless Holloway.
Gentlemen, you know the rules. I do expect a clean fight. Obey my commands. Protect yourself at all times. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Good luck.
Well, that co-headliner, a tough act to follow, but if any 2 men can do it, Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier, Act 2, tonight in Atlanta, Georgia. Holloway competing in the division in which many people actually believe he will do his best work going forward. Tonight's Fight Clock is brought to you by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Dustin Poirier in the blue trunks out of the southpaw stance. Max Holloway is in the black and gold, befitting a champion.
Well, Dustin clearly reached another level once we moved up to lightweight, and many expect that this is the weight class where Max is going to physically be much better. It was a nice leg kick right there by Poirier.
A lot of people feel this is Max Holloway's weight class. You know, I mean, obviously it's hard to say he isn't because he's the champ. But they feel like at 155, without depleting himself so much, he may even be able to take that cardio to another level, which is crazy to think about.
And he was saying how much energy he had during this camp, how much easier this cut was.
How's he going to deal with the power of Poirier? Poirier has said now that he's struggling to even make 155. He's so big.
Right. Well, he looks big. He looks wide.
Big old back.
Yeah. And that's where all that power is coming from.
Poirier had what amounted to a 13-week training camp in Florida. Nice flurry there from Dustin.
We're seeing some good leg work right off the bat by Poirier. Really chopping at those legs of Max Holloway.
Poirier closing a plus 200 underdog tonight.
Oh, good left hand by Dustin Poirier right off the bat. He thinks he's got Max hurt. Oh, Max clipped him.
But you got to be careful with a guy like Poirier.
Oh my goodness. Poirier's in trouble.
Poirier resets, about 2 minutes gone by here. Round 1, Holloway loads up on the left hand.
Those are some good shots that Holloway got off on Poirier there.
Nice left hand and then a right hand straight up the gut.
Oh! Massive right from Poirier! Oh, Poirier's all over him! Dustin's got him hurt!
When you've been in fights like this with Justin Gaethje, though, Poirier's calculated. Oh my goodness, these boys are going at it.
Holloway still firing offense back.
These boys are going at it.
My goodness.
Holy smokes. We can't possibly have another one.
Poirier with big power.
Jeez,
Max is in trouble. Max is in trouble.
He's having a tough time seeing. He's having a tough time seeing the strikes of Poirier right now.
Oh, he hurt him
Another
again.
huge right.
Holy smokes! Max has to grab. Max can't just fight.
But his style is to do this.
He can't just stand there in front of a big, strong Poirier, because Dustin's not going to waste the technique. He'll find the shots.
But Dustin's looking to close the show here, and Max is trying to stay in the pocket and land counters. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that left hand.
That Dustin Poirier is a phenomenal boxer. But how about the chin of Max Holloway? He's still standing.
Incredible. He's been stunned more in this round than in any fight in recent memory, including the Conor McGregor fight. This is probably the most we've ever seen Max hurt.
Big deep breath from Poirier, who's already landed 40 significant strikes in round one.
He hurt him again,
He hurt him again.
Every time he's landing, he's hurting Holloway. Max is struggling a little bit with the power of Dustin Poirier.
Well, yeah, that's what the American Top Team guys were saying all week. Huge power edge.
Huge. I mean, we're really seeing it here.
And remember, these are two guys that fought the same weight class. You know, like Dustin was a 45-pounder. Max has got to gather himself up to try to slow the rush of Poirier.
Oh, my goodness, again.
That one bothered the right eye of Max Holloway. Nice land by Holloway, backing up.
He's just getting caught so often and so clean. We're just not used to seeing this from Max Holloway. And he's trying to get it back. He's got that championship mentality, but the way he's trying to get it back keeps putting him in danger.
And Poirier said he didn't feel like Max had that one-punch knockout power. It's always from an accumulation of him beating up on the guy.
And that right eye starting to swell for Max Holloway.
Oh.
Big first round for the underdog.
Breathe. Breathe. Slow it down, Max. Slow it down. Slow it down, Ivan. Slow it down, Ivan.
Breathe, relax. Hey, you're going straight back defensively every single time. Okay? Let's move tight angles. You don't have to go wide angles. Tight angles. Literally hug his shoulder. Come right around. He throws up. Hug it tight. He needs space. He sets. And he pushes. Okay? Hey, stop this guy.
This is some of the beautiful work from Dustin Poirier. Look at that. Straight left to the body. Dip. Kick outside. Right here, look. Dip. Boom. Straight left hand. I mean, just the fact that Max Holloway's still standing is crazy because Dustin carries so much power that lands a big right hand over the top. He hit Dustin Poirier with massive shots in that round.
Dustin Poirier landed some huge bombs in that round. And that was probably as good as we've ever seen Dustin look. He looks like he has prepared perfectly for this championship match.
You ready? That said, he was not able to get Max Holloway out of there. We'll see how Holloway responds here in round two.
The corner Max Holloway is asking for tight angles. They said he's moving too big as he's evading. But if you're Dustin Poirier, for as good as you feel right now, you know that you got to do this for 25 minutes unless you get Max Holloway out of there.
Yeah. And we don't really know how badly Max was hurt, right? How much has he recovered?
Holloway pretty active, yeah, round two early. Again, Holloway lands to the body, now goes up top. Poirier continuing to mix it up well on the feet. Holloway splits the guard with a right hand.
It's the activity of Max Holloway. This is going to be the power of Dustin Poirier.
I like how Holloway's mixing it up to the body. And again, he's really trying to take some of the wind out of Dustin Poirier's sail. Southpaw now, switches back and forth effortlessly.
Max does that really good. He'll be mid-combination and he'll switch stances.
Dustin just swung for the bleachers there.
But after hurting Holloway so much in round one, if you're Poirier, shouldn't you slow down a little bit instead of expending so much energy, because Max is always going to be there. Oh, elbow inside.
Beautiful.
Mike Brown continuing to call for a level change out of the Dustin Poirier corner.
Don't spit at him, Dustin. Let's go.
Blake Grice warning Poirier for spitting in the direction of Holloway.
Ooh! Snappy left hand.
Poirier does a really good job with that high guard. He doesn't really get hit clean. He's blocking a lot of the contact that Max is making. The body shots are landing, but up top, he's doing a good job of rolling and keeping his hands high.
Holloway gets caught on the way in, but he has started to close that gap. There's the level change, or at least a takedown attempt. Poirier now 0 for 2.
Holloway clapped at him.
Both men just so in their element in a fight. Holloway lands. Poirier expended a lot of energy trying to get Holloway out of there in round one.
Yeah, he did.
Good kick to the body by Holloway.
And you can never question the cardio of Max Holloway. He's always going to be there. Fighting at the same pace. He melted Anthony Pettis just with his pace and pressure.
Fingers at his eye. Watch the fingers. Let's go.
We do have to remember that that was the only fight, or one of the only fights where Pettis tried to make 145, and it was a brutal cut for him.
Nice counter from Poirier, but Holloway certainly the more active guy in this second round.
Yeah, he's having a much better round.
Oh, he just got clipped. He got hurt again.
But again, like, Poirier hurts him, and then he expends all this energy trying to finish.
But he looks calm now. He's being technical. Oh, good right hook. The difference in power is very clear.
Seemed to be a lot more sting on the Poirier. Oh, big one there.
That hook was bad. He's hurting him bad, man. That right hook is nasty.
So some big power shots late in the second round for Poirier.
In a round that Max was doing really well in.
And that right eye increasingly could become a problem for Holloway as we get deeper in this fight.
Dustin Poirier is a savage. Both of these guys are just savages. Holy smokes. What? What did we do to get two of these one night?
Well, this card is as advertised. That's what's going on.
Jeez Louise.
Much better round, okay? Much better round. So we gotta stay with touching him up, okay? You're right. Hey, you're doing a great job, okay? But he just needs free stuff. He needs free stuff. He's waiting, okay? You just gotta stay on that work, coach. You can't slip up with him. He's waiting for that one mistake, right? Yep. Screw that guy. Hey, he's just countering, and he's hitting with Austin. Just go underneath. He's there for you, okay? Let's set up. Basic stuff. Things. 112. Double jab, nothing, and it's there for you. Okay? When he's don't get overzealous. To me, it's always that. You catch him right away. So whenever he's rushing, 3-2. 3-2.
When you hurt him, take your time. Don't get reckless. Hey, you're cruising to a victory. You just got to be careful. Be focused. Be focused.
That back elbow. That back elbow is there. Believe it. 112.
Round 3 is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of the UFC. This is already the second most significant strikes that Max Holloway has ever absorbed in 20 UFC fights. 99 have landed for Dustin Poirier through the first 10 minutes.
I think they're the most significant because we've never seen him hurt like that before. Right. Even though he might have been hit more by Ortega, it was never this kind of impact.
Right. No, he was never rocked. This fight, he's been rocked 4 times already in 2 rounds.
And so Max Holloway had a lot of good work in the beginning of that round, but the work that Poirier did towards the end, in my mind, eclipsed it.
Well, yeah, when you get hurt so badly,
clearly he won that round.
It's hard to score a round for you.
But meanwhile, he had a significant strike advantage up to that point. Oh, counter right hook.
Holloway's coaches recognize that. They go, he's just countering. But Max can't stay on the outside because that's not his fighting style. Holloway's fighting style is to pressure and overwhelm you. But every time he tries to incorporate that right now, he's getting stung and having to go on the defensive.
And he just doesn't seem to have the same kind of power. He's an overwhelming volume striker, whereas Poirier is stunning him with every big shot.
And Poirier, most didn't think he could match the volume. He's been the more busy guy, 191 total strikes thrown by Poirier.
Ooh, big kick to the body. Nice combination there by Holloway.
But even think about the 2 crazy fights that Poirier had with Alvarez, the Gaethje fight. He's been in those dog fights at 155 pounds.
With giant punches.
Yes, with big punchers and big men.
Both Alvarez and Gaethje are huge punchers. Stung him again.
Nice head movement defensively there by Poirier.
Again.
I mean, just boxing, Dustin is just so crisp.
Daya Davis in his corner has to
nice right hand by Max. Another one.
Good counter there by Poirier, though. Poirier's not slowing down.
And he's long, too. He's the shorter man, but has the longer reach and has found the target with great efficiency here tonight. You see the head strike picture. 106 already landed for Poirier.
I think that's what it is, John. Like, at 45, Max is long, and he's fighting a guy that has that same type of long reach, and he's landing. He's just not landing as effectively at this point.
Nice jab from Holloway.
Holloway's having a little bit of a hard time with his right eye.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
Both guys landing right up the middle now, under 2 minutes here, round 3.
Yeah, he's swelling up. That right eye's closing.
Oh, nice.
Right hand by Holloway. Thing is, even when he's landing, he's not stinging Poirier the way Poirier's hurting him.
No, I know. You just see the different effect the punches take, even from the jab.
Oh!
There was a good left hand.
But Max is landing. See, this is Max's type of fight, though. He's going forward. Volume.
But he's just not used to absorbing punches with this kind of power.
No, for sure.
And Mike Brown is begging for a level change for whatever that's worth. Holloway's volume now.
Holloway pouring it on. Oh, beautiful knee to the body.
Poirier in on the legs of Max Holloway here.
For as good as Max fought, he needs to avoid this takedown. Poirier cannot finish this. This was a great round for Max Holloway. And if you're Dustin Poirier, you don't waste the energy trying to secure this.
Oh!
He's hurt.
Excellent elbows.
Holloway tweaks the angle there to avoid the 12-6. Final seconds, round 3. Looks like Poirier's going to ride out the rest of this round. Wow.
Woo! This is when match normally starts to come on.
It's all rounds. This is all rounds. Hey, you're getting the angle out every single time, but now we gotta throw that right kick. You gotta let it go, okay?
Blocking weird.
I know, but when he dips out like this. Okay. So straight up high. It's fine. Okay. He's bracing. Okay? That'll make him keep that left hand at bay a little bit more. All right?
And here we see Dustin Poirier with a nice straight, look at that, right jab, left hand, right hand. And now Max coming on strong towards the end of the round. Connects with that. Here's a right hand, a couple of lefts and a right. He's piecing them up here towards the end of the round. The volume by Holloway towards the end of that round, where Poirier was still looking for those big shots.
Already 125 strikes absorbed to the head by Holloway. But if the stools are any indication, DC, he appeared to be the fresher guy after round 3.
Yes, John, Poirier did some good work, but Holloway's activity in that round did win him the round. And you got to remember, it will not stop. It's the same pace he's going to fight with for the next 10 minutes.
He just tagged him with straight right. Yeah, and if Poirier starts slowing down at all,
he's in trouble.
Yeah, but he's deep in on the shot. Deep. He's deep, and he's got it.
And this is what the great Mike Brown has been calling for 3 rounds. Holloway pushing down on the head.
And that will keep Dustin from building. He cannot let him secure his legs. You let him start stepping over and hooking the legs, then you end up in the position like Habib always has people in. You can't let him step over the legs. But even as Poirier starts to slow down a little bit, how much energy does it take trying to get this takedown?
Right, and this could slow him down if Holloway gets back up to his feet. But Holloway could be the fresher guy. Holloway's looking for a guillotine here. Oh, nice knee in the body. Nasty knee to the liver.
Excuse me, Joe. Now Poirier with a pretty significant cut around that right eye. Holloway just non-stop.
His cardio's off the charts.
Off the charts at either weight class. Just the ability to push. It's crazy to watch.
Look at that volume.
Poirier got to be careful here.
Poirier's trying to take a break. Holloway's not letting him. He won't let him breathe.
Dustin's tired, or so it would appear.
Yes, he is. Poirier wants a break. Holloway's just pursuing. He'll just keep touching you, keep touching you, keep touching you. He isn't trying to hurt you with one attack. He's just trying to wear on the gas tank.
Oh my goodness. Poirier fires back. He's got him hurt.
Poirier does a better job when he's the guy going forward.
Good counter right from Poirier after Holloway landed the elbow. We haven't seen that right kick from Holloway that his corner called for after round 3.
Oh, nasty body work by Holloway. Poirier just took a big, deep breath.
Holloway just has to be really careful when he's just throwing all those punches not to get caught with a big right hook.
Oh, Holloway in the body, now the right.
Woo! Huh. Nasty jab by Poirier and a left hand.
Oh, right cross from Dustin Poirier.
On the switch.
Poirier now walking down.
Oh, that knee caused some damage.
Oh,
He cut him open bad. Oh!
Oh, Holloway busted wide open, Joe.
Wide open. Oh, he's spraying blood now.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
Looks like a huge gash right in the middle of the forehead. That patented Hawaiian toughness gonna have to be leaned on by Holloway. Oh! Woo!
Guillotine.
It looked like Poirier just smiled at UFC President Dana White. Gotta love it.
Jeez Louise.
There it is again. Maybe he was looking at Shaq.
Easy points.
4 rounds down, they will call the doctor in to look at the cut on Max Holloway.
Oh, boy, look at that gash.
Big breath. Hey, we're good. We're moving. We're seeing clearly. Max, let's dig deep. Let's push the pace. You got this. This is our fight. Let's do this. Hey, mix it all up.
Win the rounds.
Phase 1 out. Everything is there. Everything is there. Let's go.
Here's the knee. Glancing knee. And it's those glancing shots that wind up cutting you often.
And right away, Max felt it.
Okay,
Right away,
keep
Max
moving your
felt it.
feet. Don't stop.
Take 3 and move. Okay? Stay focused.
Yeah.
The man on the other side of you is very quick. The man on the outside is stay really focused on your chair. Stay focused on your chair. Let's go.
Hands high, tight D.
You don't want it like you do. Let's go.
The great Don House working overtime there in the corner, trying to close that gash on Max Holloway's forehead. When you're a cut man, you get this assignment. You buckle up. 5th and final round. 5 minutes or fewer to determine the UFC's interim lightweight champion. Will it be Dustin Poirier? Or will Max Holloway exit with a belt over each shoulder? 5th and final round, here we go.
Nice jab by Holloway, yes.
Atlanta crowd trying to get behind Max Holloway here. Poirier loads up on the right hand, unable to land.
Ooh.
Oh. Power discrepancy on display once again in that exchange.
Also just the sharpness of that counter too. Perfect precision. And if anybody doubted the cardio of Dustin Poirier,
Right.
it is on display here.
Yes.
Because this has been a fast-paced fight.
It's so clear that the guy that's going forward is the guy that's successful. If Holloway's pressing, Holloway's the guy's landing. If Poirier's pressing, he's the guy landing the jab. But neither of these guys want to go backwards. So it's a war of attrition.
Another strong counter from Dustin Poirier coming up on 3 minutes to go.
This is such a crazy fight.
Crazy fight.
I mean, geez Louise.
Look at the difference, though, in the way they look.
Right.
I mean, Dustin Poirier, even though he's eaten a bunch of shots from Max Holloway, they do not have nearly the same effect.
Yeah, he's big and strong, man. He's a big, strong lightweight. Even the frame, right? The big side, the size of the back, right? Look at Poirier's arms. Max looks good at 55, but he doesn't look nearly as big as Dustin.
Nice right hand. Yeah, Holloway splits the guard. Beautiful left hand touch there by Poirier.
Max Holloway puts those punches together so well, man. It'll be head, 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 body, body, head. It's beautiful to watch. But the jab of Dustin Poirier is just a piston.
That right hand has worked really however he's thrown it, as a jab, as a hook. Under 2 minutes now to go.
Dustin in on this single.
And I believe the corner Holloway's right. Dustin's taking a break here. He realized earlier that he can't take a break in space anymore. He has to get close. And right there on the single leg, he's trying to rest and get ready for what is going to be a crazy last minute.
Under a minute now to go in this UFC interim lightweight championship fight. Khabib Nurmagomedov beckons for the winner.
Poirier has to understand that if Holloway gets space, with a minute to go, he's going to be coming, guns blazing.
But Poirier might not let him out of here.
45 seconds.
Well, we expected a classic, and that is what these two men have turned in. Under 30 now to go. Final 10 seconds. The standing ovation has already started here in Atlanta.
What a fight.
Poirier and Holloway go the distance.
Amazing fight, an amazing show of respect at the end. Wow.
So Dustin Poirier comes over to the broadcast table, appears to think he has done enough.
He said it's uncomfortable and it hurts, but fighting is pure, and he loves it.
All right, let's get to the fight replay, brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
Now here we are early in the fight. Bing, big overhand left by Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier stung Max Holloway early and often. Had him rock more in that first round than we have ever seen Holloway stun in any professional fight. You see Poirier pouring it on. Right hook, ducks under the left. Another right hook. There's a right hand over the top. I mean, tremendous chin by Max Holloway because Dustin Poirier tested him. Left hand, right hand. Boom, look at that right hand. Really staggered Max Holloway. Left hand over the top, right hand. Snap the jab. Now Max fires back. Boom, straight right by Max. Pouring on the pressure. Volume strikes by Holloway. Straight right hand. There's a nice knee to the body by Holloway. I mean, what a fight. And there's the big knee that caused that massive cut on the forehead. left hand by Poirier. I mean, what a fight. Two incredible championship fights.
All right, the official decision brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. One final time tonight. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 49-46 for the winner by unanimous decision and new interim UFC lightweight champion of the world, Dustin the Diamond Poirier.
Thank you, man. Nothing to respect. I'm sorry I cursed at you yesterday. Nothing to respect. This is war. This is war. You're a good person and a good father. I respect you. You're a good guy. I love you, bro. You're the champ. I love you. Thank you, brother.
All right, I'm here with the winner and new champion. Dustin Poirier, congratulations on a truly fantastic performance against one of the very best fighters in the world. You put on a show tonight. You came out strong in that first round, had him staggered. How does this feel? Does this feel real?
Man, this feels amazing. I feel like I'm in a dream right now. I just beat one of the pound-for-pound best in the world. To be the best, you got to beat the best. And then, damn, I feel good, man. It's been a long time, brother. This is my 23rd or 24th fight with Zuffa. I've got knocked down. I've climbed back up. Like I said before, man, this is my belt. I earned this in blood. I paid in full. This is mine.
You earn this, and you earn your position here with your spectacular streak of fights. You've beaten some of the very best fighters in the sport, but tonight, this was a truly special performance, Dustin. This was the culmination of all your hard work, all your time in the gym and in the octagon. Just an amazing performance against absolutely one of the most technical fighters on the planet.
You know, man, there was a time in that 3rd round where I got hit with a couple good shots and I was hurt. And I looked at Max and he started throwing a lot of volume. It hurt me some more. And I felt like the fight was slipping away, man, but I dug down. I said, fuck it, if I'm gonna go out, you gotta put me all the way out. And I hit him with some good shots. I had him hurt. The rounds were back and forth. I didn't know what was going on. He hit me with some good shots, man, but I'm the fucking champ, man. This is a piece of the world title. This is what I want. I want to unify this belt with the best. Right now, I'm the champ.
And this sets you up for a fight with Khabib Nurmagomedov for the undisputed title. So give us your thoughts on that.
In the words of our buddy Daniel Cormier, get your shit together, young man. We got a belt to fight for.
Dustin, congratulations on a truly special fight. It was an honor to call this fight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. I'm a big fan of yours. I just love fighting in this organization. These guys are the best, man. I've overcome adversity so many times. Everybody out there, there's people telling you can't do it, or you're the underdog, or you're championed against, or telling you told you're not good enough. I've been told that my whole life, and I'm the world champ. If I can do it, you can do it. I just want to dedicate this fight to my wife. We've been together, been married 10 years. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. There was days I went home, busted and broken, and she believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. This is her belt as much as it is mine. I wouldn't be here without her. I love you, Jolie.
The winner and new champion, ladies and gentlemen, Dustin Poirier. I'm here with Max Holloway, ladies and gentlemen. Max, you're ever a warrior, and you showed that again tonight. Give us your thoughts on this fight.
Hey, I'm not gonna take nothing away from Dustin. He beat a world champ. He is a world champ. There ain't no interim shit. He the real thing. He beat a world champion, and congrats, brother.
Moving up to 155 pounds, what was different for you?
You know, nothing. Nothing was different. I felt good. I felt on. I thought it was my night. I learned different tonight, but it is what it is, you know? You win, you learn. And I learned a lot. You know, Dustin gave me a lot. I guess the cupcake tastes sour again.
We know you will be back. We know you'll be back better than ever. But do you feel that your future lies in lightweight, or do you think you're going to go back down to featherweight where you still hold the title?
I'm still a champ. Whatever weight gets me closer to that pound-for-pound title, if it's here, I told you guys, if it's 170, 185, 205, My best friend DC over here in the front, if he wants it, he can get it. I don't care.
You're a great man, Max Holloway, and it's always an honor calling your fight.
Hey, thank you guys for coming out. Dustin is the shit. Thank you, brother.
Max Holloway, ladies and gentlemen.
Legends, both of them, but tonight Max Holloway's 13-fight winning streak comes to an end. Dustin Poirier paid in full. A lifetime's work consummates in a UFC title for Poirier.
This is so crazy, man. To see a kid from Lafayette just really fight and fight and fight. Like he said, he's had to pick himself up on so many occasions to come and accomplish his goal. So happy for Dustin and so happy for Max Holloway to put on that type of performance, even though he lost. That was one hell of a performance. Both men should feel proud of what they did tonight. What a night in Atlanta. I mean, it doesn't get much better.
It does not get much better. I feel like the Style Bender Kelvin Gastelum fight was one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life, and this fight was right up there with that one. Dustin Poirier put on the performance of his career. When you look back at Dustin Poirier's recent record, stopped Eddie Alvarez, stopped Dustin Gaethje. I mean, just those two fighters in a row, those are two blood and guts warriors. To beat those two and then to piece up Max Holloway the way he did tonight, particularly in that first round, I mean, a performance of a lifetime. And I think what we're seeing is Dustin Poirier coming into his own, realizing his full potential. He's 30 years old now. He's had so many fights inside the octagon, and this is as good as he's ever been, and he's a new world champion.
So many emotions for Dustin Poirier. Joe, it looked like you were close to tears in there as Dustin Poirier completes his mission. In a lot of respects, he will forever go down as a UFC champion. Congratulations to Dustin Poirier.
DC's calling over. Is that Dustin's dad? What do you got there?
Lafayette, Louisiana, baby. Look at that. I mean, Dustin Poirier comes out with the flag of our city and captures the championship. Now you got two world champs from Lafayette. It's crazy.
Pretty crazy.
As bad as it hard as it is to see Max lose, I mean, he got beat by Dustin Poirier. It's crazy.
Well, to me, it's great to see Dustin win. Dustin's a great man. He's a guy who earned it. He's had his ups and downs, the knockout loss to Michael Johnson, the knockout loss to Conor McGregor. I mean, he's had rough moments inside the octagon where, as he said, he truly doubted himself and doubted his future. And he steps down from that octagon as a world champion and a guy who is set up next to fight one of the baddest men on the planet Earth in Khabib Nurmagomedov in what is going to be an epic fight.
For those guys, I mean, it does not get easier. It does not get easier for Israel. It does not get easier for Dustin Poirier as he faces Khabib Nurmagomedov. This was truly a phenomenal night of fighting, but it just gets tougher because you got two world champions waiting for these guys. It's truly amazing.
And now, talk about this. Go ahead, Joe.
I'm sorry, your thoughts now on Max Holloway in terms of his ability to compete at lightweight. Do you think that Dustin was too big, or do you think that this is just the way it goes when Dustin connects with people and then he can fight it at lightweight?
Well, he's got tremendous power, right? Dustin has tremendous power. But also, Max came up as a one-off fight. This was not a build-up to be a true lightweight to stay there forever.
Right, like building muscle.
Yes, he has the idea that he wants to go back down to defend his belt at 45, so it makes it kind of difficult. But I don't want to take nothing from Dustin. It was tremendous, but for Max in the future, when he decides to fight at lightweight, he's going to have to stay and fight at lightweight.
And amazing to think if Tony Ferguson was ready to go tonight, Dustin Poirier doesn't even get this opportunity. And man, did he deliver as he becomes the UFC's interim lightweight champion. We also have a new UFC interim middleweight champion. It is Israel Adesanya. He will now fight Robert Whittaker. And again, you've been here for all of these, Joe. Truly one of the best 25-minute fights most of us have ever seen.
Unquestionably, and the performance of Adesanya was off the charts, but how about the heart of Kelvin Gastelum to survive that fifth round? Staggered and dropped and battered, and I mean, just what a fight from top to bottom. From the beginning, the opening round, Israel Adesanya gets rocked and hurt. Kelvin Gastelum connects and drops him. And then Adesanya comes back in the second round. I mean, it was an epic fight, a truly epic fight. Both men were pushed to their limit, and Style Bender emerges as the new interim champ and sets up an epic encounter with the undisputed champion Robert Whittaker. I mean, that that is something I can't wait.
What was so impressive about Adesanya's performance was that when the fight was on the line in the 5th round, he left no doubt that he had won that fight. Right. He fought so tremendously in round 5, and he was in front of Kelvin Gastelum with the idea that at times he could have stopped the fight. But if there's a guy that's going to take that damage and continue to press forward, it's Robert Whittaker.
Right.
We saw him against Joel Romero twice looking like he was done. He kept going. There is nobody like the champ. The champ knocked out Jacare Souza. It's easy to have recency bias because we're watching these guys put in performance. But look at the Reaper. He has smashed guys on his way to becoming the UFC's middleweight champion.
Oh, he's an animal. I mean, no doubt about it. Robert Whittaker is something special. Even though I did think that Yoel Romero deserved the nod in the last fight, it was incredibly close, and he won the fight before that. And he has knocked out Derek Brunson. He has knocked out Jacare Souza. I mean, he is an outstanding fighter. And the matchup is off the charts, the two of those guys together.
We are in store for some good fights.
Well, and these Australians and New Zealanders, if you don't know, their appetite for mixed martial arts is as insatiable as that sport is massive over there. If any matchup's going to get Joe Rogan back to the land down under, I think it might be that one.
I got my hand up. Can I go? I'm calling dibs on that one right now. I'm in there for Whittaker versus. You coming?
I'm going.
Joe, we're
yes, see, I figured we had to do it on the air. He wasn't going to make the trip. So.
I might change my mind.
Well, it was billed as obviously an epic main card tonight, UFC 236, and as usual, these athletes deliver, and the card lives up to the hype. What a night.
I'm not sleeping.
UFC 236, Holloway Vs Poirier 2, has been brought to you by Motel 6. When you're ready to tap out, book online at motel6.com. We'll leave the light on for you. And by PokerStars, pound for pound, the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on PokerStars.
UFC Fight Night returns this Saturday with a ground-shaking heavyweight headliner. In the main event, Russian native Alexei Oleinik will have the home advantage as he takes on MMA legend Alistair Overeem. Plus, undefeated Antonina Shevchenko returns to the octagon against the Happy Warrior, Roxanne Modafferi. See UFC Fight Night live, only on ESPN+.
And here's a look at what's coming up inside the Octagon, sponsored by the Metro by T-Mobile Purple Couch pre-fight show, coming to you before some of the biggest cards this year, live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. As you just saw, next Saturday, 4/20, the Octagon hits St. Petersburg, Russia for the first time. Heavyweight headliner Alistair Overeem, Alexei Oleinik, prelim coverage 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2, followed by the main card on ESPN+. April 27, South Florida for UFC Fight Night, Jacare versus Hermanson. Main card now on ESPN+. You can see the prelims live on ESPN at 7 p.m. Eastern. Month of May begins on the 4th in Ottawa. Donald Cerrone, Ally Quinton, the headliner on ESPN+. Main card, 8 p.m. Eastern start time. And then May 11th, the big one, UFC 237, Namajunas versus Andrade. That'll go down from Rio. Prelims 8 Eastern on ESPN. The main card is a 10 p.m. Eastern start on pay-per-view. How about this night in the ATL? The executive producers of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC President Dana White, Ari Emanuel, and Patrick Weitzel. Our Executive VP of Operations and Production is Craig Borsari. Our coordinating producer put it all together, Zach Candido. Tonight's show has been produced by Lappy LaPlante and directed by the venerable Anthony Pasquale Giordano. How about the Khalil Roundtree Jr. show showing up in the ATL? Didn't get Eric Anders out of there, but certainly put himself on the light heavyweight map. Shaquille O'Neal got a good one. Kelvin Gastelum was primed. He was ready. He had a huge 4th round, but Israel Adesanya bit down on the mouthpiece, showed off the heart of a champion, came back with a huge 5th round. And at the end of the night, Israel Adesanya brings a championship to New Zealand. He is the new UFC interim middleweight champion. We said it was a tough act to follow, but Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway were ready for it. The UFC champions came out in droves, and they got an absolute classic. Poirier got off to a great start. Holloway had his moments, but Dustin Poirier exits the ATL as the new interim UFC lightweight champion. With that, for Joe Rogan, Daniel Cormier, and the rest of the crew, John Anik saying so long from Georgia. We will see you next month from Rio de Janeiro for UFC 237. Good night.